day celebrating a class of 20 seniors. Some the likes of Sawyer Robertson, Jackie Marshall, Josh Cameron, Devin Bobby, and an overall impressive and talented class at Baylor. And they have one final stand here at McLean Stadium and one last chance to reach a bowl game and extend their season. One more game. But right now they'll have to face the number 23 team in the nation, the Houston Cougars, on the senior day at McLean Stadium. And you can catch all that action right here on the Baylor Lariat Radio. Hi everyone, and I hope you all are doing well. I'm Jeffrey Cohen. Here alongside me, we have a special guest, Mr. Jonathan Scheer, student broadcaster from Concordia University, Chicago. Jonathan, thank you for being with us on this football Saturday.
No, yeah, Jeffrey, it is great to be down here in Waco, and I am more than grateful for the opportunity to be here at McLean today to call a game for the Bears and the Cougars. But yeah, big game today coming up for the Bears and Houston. Senior day, game finale, and possibility of clinching a bowl game for Baylor.
Yeah, as you said, you got a chance at bowl eligibility, and really, it's been an underwhelming season, and it's been mentioned on the Lariat Radio throughout this entire season. A lot of things just haven't gone the way Dave Aranda and his squad has hoped, but the motivation is at a peak today because these guys have said throughout this week that they're fighting for these seniors, such a important and influential senior class. Some of the starters, some of the stars on this team making their final game here in Waco, and also just to get to a bowl game, try to hang your hat on something, even if the season hasn't gone your way.
Yeah, and that's always an important friendship. You look at teams where the season hasn't been ideal, it hasn't gone the way you want it to. Is the locker room still there? And the answer for the Bears is yes. The locker room is still there, so there's still something to play for this late in the season. And, I mean, yeah, that's to play for morale, but also, like we mentioned, to play for an actual tangible bowl game is always a good target for a program.
Yeah, and facing today, as we said, number 23 Houston Cougars, and the biggest part of their offense, they're led by former Texas A&M quarterback Connor Wigman, but it's been the run game that's really been their forte throughout the season. Obviously, for the Baylor defense, that's been what they've struggled with the most. And their last home game against Utah, we saw that a lot, giving up 380 rushing yards to the Utes. And so now they're back with against an offense with a similar scheme that they've seen all season, and now they've got to really change the tides today.
Yeah, it's not going to get any easier against Houston. Connor Wigman, dual threat quarterback, coming off of a 114-yard game on the ground against TCU last week, more than any Houston quarterback in a single game since Clayton Tune. And then you look back to the backfield, you bring in Dean Connors, the Rice transfer, who's had a fantastic season for Houston as well. On the ground, hasn't been finding the end zone. That's been the receivers and the tight end Tanner Koziel, but they have been working down the field into the red zone on the ground. More than 200 yards combined between their quarterback and running back last week against TCU, and with the rushing defense that Baylor's had, you can almost guarantee that is exactly where Willie Fritz and his offense are going to attack.
Yeah, the Baylor defense ranking 122nd in the FBS, giving up an average of 195 rushing yards per game. Dean Connors for the Cougs, transfer from Rice. He's the only FBS player with 700-plus rushing yards and 400-plus receiving yards in each of the last two seasons when he was with the Owls. And really, for the Cougs, this is exactly the situation they want to be in. We'll talk more about how good they've been on the road when we come back. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
Hey there, Bears! Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
You're listening to the Baylor Football pregame on the Baylor Lariat Radio. Just a couple minutes away from kickoff here at McLean Stadium between the Bears and the visiting Houston Cougars. I'm Jeffrey Cohen here alongside me, Jonathan Scheer. And Jonathan, I'd mentioned it right before we went to break, but the Cougs, they've been impressive on the road. This is exactly where they want to be to finish 9-3, and this is where they want to finish on the road. Right now, 5-0, the only FBS team to be undefeated on the road when playing a minimum of 5 games away from their home field.
Yeah, it's one of those stats that you'll look at and you'll be confused by it at first because it doesn't really make sense on paper. How are you going to be worse at home than on the road? The Cougars don't really care. They just take the fact that they win on the road. And they picked up some tough wins on the road, taking down Arizona State in Tempe on the road. But that home performance has been rough, losing to TCU last week, West Virginia a couple weeks ago. But now, like you mentioned, Jeffrey, they get to come on the road. They get to go to a kind of struggling Baylor team as of late, so they're in what's been their best environment against a team that they should have a favorable matchup against. Yeah,
and a big part of that has led them to being 5-0 on the road is the turnover margin, and they had a very good game in that department against TCU last week. And Baylor, again, that's one of the things that they've been struggling with. Their defense doesn't force a lot of turnovers, and the offense loses a lot of turnovers. Sawyer Robertson, 11 interceptions on the season, and then the rest of the offense, 13 fumbles, 11 of them lost.
Yeah, and you look at that turnover margin for both of these teams. Houston, generally top of the country, they're in the top half. It's positive, and that's the important thing for you. It's a positive turnover margin, very positive against TCU last week. Over on the Bears' end, it hasn't just been bad, it's been nationally bad. Baylor, one of the worst turnover margins in the country so far this year. A -1 turnover margin for the Bears. They've struggled to keep the ball in their own hands and prevent other teams from taking it away. And on the other defensive side, they've struggled to force those turnovers. That's something that Houston isn't really struggling with as of late, especially on the defensive end. Will James last week, especially 2 interceptions and a forced fumble against TCU. So the Cougars, they've been great forcing the ball, turning it over, making those big game-changing plays. The Bears, they've been struggling there, and that could be a point to watch for this game, except it goes to something that's been frustrating for Houston, a +3 turnover margin against TCU, and you still don't come away with the win.
Yeah, and in that game against TCU, sophomore cornerback Will James snagged 2 interceptions and forced a fumble. He was the first Big 12 player in 2 years to accomplish that. He also won a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. But also, one of the difference makers that could be in this game. So Baylor right now 2.5-point favorites. And we talked about how they match up against each other, offense and defense. But now we go to that third phase of the game. Special teams could really be a difference on both teams that are kind of regressing in that area.
100%. And the most notable right off the bat to look at is the kicking for both of these teams. And it's Houston that's a big story coming into this game with Ethan Sanchez. Hasn't been bad on the year. He's only missed 5 field goals on the year, a lot of them coming early on in the season. But 2 of them coming last week against TCU. The Cougars lost by 3. He missed 2 field goals, one of them a game-tying attempt right at the end of the game for Sanchez. So obviously that takes a hit to your kickers when we're out. It takes a hit to the team because that's kind of that part of the team that can make a huge difference even though it's rarely ever on the field. But special teams is important. Over on the Bears end of things, that bit of the game has been sliding for Baylor, and it's not ideal. Connor Hawkins started the year great, and he's still doing great. Only 4 missed field goals on the year, but that's been trending downwards. In the last 3 games, missing 1 field goal in each of those. So that kicking department for both of these teams in a bit of a rough spot coming into today's match.
Yeah, Connor Hawkins, 15 for 19 on field goals this season, and again, as you said, he's been deteriorating, has been missing a couple more over the last couple weeks. But then also, let's go back to the U of H offense, right? We talked about how big of a running game they have. But we also mentioned their quarterback, Connor Wigman, 5-star recruit. When he was in high school, he was the #1 quarterback in the nation. And he was the #4 overall player in Texas at Bridgeland High School. Had a couple of unsuccessful years with the Aggies. Now back home in Houston. And Dave Aranda had mentioned it on Monday in his press conference, how Connor Wigman, even though he's a very impressive running quarterback, he loves to be in the pocket, and how that honestly can set up what the Baylor defense needs to do to kind of get him out of his rhythm today.
Exactly. With Connor Wigman, he's either going to throw it in the pocket or he's going to run it. As soon as you put him under pressure, he's going to break out of the pocket, he's going to run. He's very good at that, but you don't see a lot of that off-program, off-platform, out-of-the-pocket throws. So there's really only 2 options for you to look out for as a defense, and that does help you game plan a lot, knowing that they're either going to throw it or they're going to run it. And if you can force them into running that, even though you've had a bad rushing defense on the year, you can prepare for that more, and you can force the hand and kind of shut down that rushing offense as much as you can.
Yeah, Connor Wigman, 11th in the nation with 29 touchdowns, accounted for 20 of those through the air, 9 of them on the ground. He leads the team in rushing touchdowns as well. Dean Connors with 4. So with that, we'll step aside just for a few more minutes, and we'll come back with our starting lineups and kickoff of this final game of the regular season between the Baylor Bears and the Houston Cougars. This is Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
The Baylor Bears coming out of the tunnel surrounded by Baylor seniors running the line in their final football game as undergraduate students. Baylor wearing their green uniforms with the gold chrome helmets. Those things are absolutely beautiful. For the seniors, farewell at McLean Stadium, and we'll get into our starting lineups on this Saturday morning. For the Baylor offense, Sawyer Robertson under center as always. Bryson Washington leading the way on the ground. Michael Trigg out of this for this game. One of the few major key players that won't be playing today for the Bears. Josh Cameron, starting wide receiver on the outside. Ashton Hawkins on the inside, as well as Cole Wilson and Kobe Prentice. On the offensive line, going from left to right, Sean Tompkins, the left tackle. Ryan Lengel, Colton Price in the middle. Colton Saraki on the right, and his brother Caden Saraki, the right tackle. And then for that defense, at cornerback, Tevin Williams and LeVar Thornton. In the back, senior safety Devin Bobby. Jacob Redding also ruled out for this game. And then in the middle, Keaton Thomas, Kylan Reed, and DJ Coleman, your linebackers. And then on the line, edge rushers Matthew Fobbs-White and Marion Winston. And on the other side, Devontae Tesno, Cooper Lands. And right down the middle, Jackie Marshall and DK Kalu. And then for the Cougars on their offense, Connor Wigman leading the charge. Amari Thomas, the leading receiver. Kobe Young as well on the outside. Tight end Tanner Koziol. And then leading the way for the running back room is senior Rice transfer Dean Connors. On the O-line, left tackle Alvin Abasale, transfer from Baylor, spent the last 3 seasons here in Waco. Left guard Jason Brooks, center Demetrius Hunter, and on the right side at guard Matthew Wyckoff, and at right tackle Dalton Merriman. Then for the defense, at cornerback senior Latrell McCutcheon. On the other side, Will James coming off one of his best performances of his career against TCU. And then in the back, safeties Jordan Allen and Kentrell Webb. Linebackers, Chance Bryant on the strong side, Sione Fotu in the middle, and Jalen Garner on the weak side. The jack is Latravian McCutcheon, and then on the D-line, You have Eddie Wall, Carlos Allen, and Khalil Lofu. As we had mentioned, Jonathan, a couple of key guys out of this game, namely Michael Trigg and Jacob Redding for Baylor.
Yeah, and not really anybody major unexpectedly out for Houston. That's a tough loss for the Bears. Like you mentioned, Trigg, he's been one of the premier, if not the premier, receiving target for Sawyer Robertson this year. And that takes away a major element of your offensive game plan. You kind of got your big three there, Washington, Trigg, Hawkins. No Trigg, it just becomes Washington, Hawkins, and then what can you piece together behind that? On the defensive end, we've talked a lot about the rushing offense for Houston and how that could have a big day today against the Bears. But if that passing offense can get going and force Baylor to move off of the rush, now you don't know where to go, and you already have a struggling defense, that'll be even worse for the Bears, and losing one of your safeties isn't going to make matters any better.
And Houston will kick off. It's Zach Yoakum who will send it forward. In the end zone is Cole Wilson. And we are underway here from Waco as the ball rolls out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Baylor offense will be the first ones on today. We said leading the way, redshirt senior out of Lubbock, Texas, Sawyer Robertson. 3,372 yards on the season, 30 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. He's fourth in the country in passing yards, and he's tied for first with Fernando Mendoza coming into this week. Mendoza playing last night in the Hoosiers' defeat over Purdue. Running up the middle with Bryson Washington, breaks a couple tackles, and he pushes forward at the 36-yard line. That's good enough for a first down on the first play of this ball game.
And you'll take that pickup for your first play. That's something we'll probably see a lot of today out of the Bears.
Going hurry up back to Bryson Washington up the middle. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 5.
And that's something you'll take again. Just run it up the middle, 5 yards, play after play after play. That'll march you down the field. That might be something they have to do more without Michael Trigg.
And it looks like there's a Baylor player down. Not what you want to see right away if you're Baylor.
No, and it looks like it is Washington.
It is Bryson Washington, who's been dealing with injuries all season. Coming into the Utah game 2 weeks ago, Dave Aranda said it was the best he'd looked. He got 97 yards on 14 runs, and then last week, a little less action, 9 runs for 51 yards, but he'll be carried off the field, not putting any weight on his legs. That's not a good sign for the Bears. So now Caden Knighton, the true freshman, in the backfield with Robertson. Motions Cole Wilson to the right. Hands it off to Knighton. Met in the backfield, will push his way forward. That's to the 42-yard line on 2nd and 5.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough thing to game plan off of. You get 2 plays that work in, and then you lose the player that's making those plays possible. Like you mentioned, though, Caden Knighton in the game now, he's been good as of late in that backup spot. It's a big opportunity for the freshman.
Back to the handoff once again. Caden Knighton trying to find a hole, and it's not there. He's swallowed up by the Houston run stop. As safety Kentrell Webb is in there for the joint tackle, and that'll make it 4th down, and here comes Palmer Williams and the punt squad.
Yeah, Palmer Williams, he has had a fantastic year for Baylor. This Baylor team up at the top of the country in average net punt yards. Williams, a finalist for the Ray Guy Award this season.
Williams averaging 46.8 yards per punt. He sends this one downfield. Fair catch signaled by Makai Muse, and he'll field that around the 20-yard line. So some big runs by Bryson Washington to start the drive. Comes out of the game with an injury, and the Bears punted away on their first drive, and we'll get to see Connor Wegman and company for the first time today.
We'll see if the Cougars just go straight to pounding the rocks. They want to try and get aggressive through the air early, but this offense really does have the upper hand to start this game over the Baylor defense.
They rank 54th in the FBS with 172 yards on the ground per game. Wegman hands it off to the left side. That's Dean Connors. He'll be swallowed up on the outside. That's Tyler Turner with the tackle. Had 2 tackles last week in Arizona.
And that's a big play already made from the replacement for Jacob Redding in today's game.
Bears running 2 deep on the defense. Wigman motions his receiver. Another handoff to Connors up the middle, trying to push the pile, and he'll be taken down.
Brought down by Cooper Lance.
Cooper lands on the tackle, so that'll make it 3rd down and short for the Cougs. A little over 12 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
The Cougars absolutely could just continue to pound it up the middle to try and get through this first set of downs. But they could go to the air, try and get the Bears off guard.
3rd down at 1 yard to go. Wigman will keep it. He's got some room, and he's tripped up past the 30-yard line.
That's a huge play from Tyler Turner on the ground to trip up Wigman. If he gets through and doesn't get tripped up there, Wigman had a lot of green grass ahead of him.
That'll be enough for a Cougar 1st down. Wigman rocking with 2 guys in the backfield. Now in the pistol. Makes the handoff. He's looking deep. Throwing to the sideline. Has a man. It's caught on the sideline. Amari Thomas with the toe tap. And that's a 1st down.
Yeah, you look at that receiving core for the Cougars. It's Amari Thomas, who's had a great year. 809 yards coming to today with 50 catches and 9 touchdowns. Nothing much behind that for the wide receiver for Houston. No one else above 200 yards.
Had 5 touchdowns in his last 3 games. Wegman rolling to the right, throwing downfield, and it's off the hands of Thomas. A little overthrown ball on 1st and 10, so it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I like the aggression from Wegman there. He did have Dean Connors in the flat as he rolled out. He could have hit that for some easy yards, but I do like the aggression to try and go deep.
The Cougars have really kept Wegman out of the pocket, having him roll quite often, and he'll just tuck it and run. Doesn't get a whole lot. He'll get 3 yards on the run, and as he's tackled at the 50-yard line. That'll make it 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, we expected the Cougars to lean heavily on the run to start the day, and so far it's been about an even split. I think it's maybe 4 run plays and 2 passing downs, and now you are in a passing down. You're in 3rd and long, and the Cougars are going to probably have to look to the air.
2 passing plays thus far, 4 plays on the ground. Wegman out of the pocket, throws quickly on a slant, has Thomas once again. And he is taken down just shy of the Baylor 40.
And you look at that middle of that Baylor defense, it has been open all season long, and that's exactly what the Cougars and Willie Fritz's offense are exploiting there. Just send a quick slant up the middle. You got a split second of space. Wegman will take that. You can pick up the 1st down on the new set of 10.
2 receivers out wide on the right. Handoff to Connors up the middle. And he is met quickly. And he'll be taken down. Devontae Tesno, Keaton Thomas on the collective tackle. Thomas, the team leader, with 92 tackles coming into today. Had 10 or more tackles in 4 different games. Season high 16 tackles in week 1 against the Auburn Tigers. Now 2nd and 7. Wegman looking to the right, and it's just out of the reach of Tanner Koziel. his tight end. So it'll be another third down and medium for the Cougars offense.
Tanner Koziel, when you talk about the receivers not really having anyone behind Amari Thomas, he's been a great tight end target for Wegman this season.
9 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. Micah Gifford and Devin Bobby back. Handed off to Connors up the middle. He's met at the line. And he's got nowhere to go. He'll get 2 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down. It looks like Wegman and the Cougar offense are not going anywhere. 4th down and 5 yards to go. Willie Fritz and his squad will go for it. Baylor fans getting on their feet. A big play here in the early game. Wegman in the pocket, looking to the outside, has his tight end Koziel. It's caught.
That's just too easy for Tanner Koziel. Leads all Division I FBS tight ends with 56 receptions coming into the day. Make it 57 and a first down. Just a quick out to break off the coverage and just get that space you need on the sideline.
He was defended by safety Micah Gifford, who had moved from wide receiver in the bowl season last year. The Bears went to the Texas Bowl, faced off against LSU, lost that one 44-31. Wegman under pressure, finds a man down the middle. It's Thomas, he's got grass. Into the end zone, touchdown Cougars. Amari Thomas. Double-digit touchdowns on the season, that's number 10. And the Cougars strike first.
That's just a beautifully drawn-up play on offense. Send everybody deep except for Thomas. Have him running the short slant up the middle. A lot of space on the left side. A lot of space in the middle. And he's able to get that and just go.
And really, the defense in the middle of the field has been such a struggle for the Bears all year. Some of the biggest runs and biggest plays they've given up have come right in between the hash marks, as the extra point is up, and it is good. A 27-yard touchdown from Connor Wigman to his favorite target, Amari Thomas. Caps off a 12-play, 82-yard drive and gives the Cougs a 7-0 lead with 7:47 remaining in this first quarter. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
7-0 Cougs over the Bears. Houston trying to improve to 6-0 on the road, 9-3 overall. While the Bears open to claw their way to a bowl game. Right now standing at 5-6, losing their last 2 games. Both behind fourth quarter collapses against Utah and Arizona. As Yoakum sends it forward, and it'll go way past the end zone, and it'll be another touchback. And we'll get another look at the Baylor offense without Bryson Washington. He started off the drive 2 runs for 16 yards, and then he got hurt after that at the end of that second run. And we've just seen freshman running back Caden Knighton thus far. Knighton coming off 100 yards on 17 runs in Tucson against the Wildcats. That's his second 100-plus yard game on the ground in his last 3. Robertson looking down the middle. Behind throw, but it's caught by Cole Wilson.
I was going to say, I'd be shocked if we didn't see this Baylor offense go straight to the air on this drive. 4 straight runs on the last drive. Clearly, Houston was able to figure it out then. And Baylor, another first down for a drive.
Cole Wilson only 1 catch for 2 yards last week. Robertson again going to the air, down the middle, and incomplete off the hand of a falling Cole Wilson. It looked like he tripped on the route.
Yeah, he was running a quick inside cut, and feet will go out from under him. You just go to ground on that cut. That's frustrating because he had a lot of open space, plenty of space to make that grab. He's able to stay up.
Cole Wilson at a season best 8 receptions for 134 yards against Auburn, just hasn't been able to recreate that since. Robertson down the middle again to the left side, it's caught. Ashton Hawkins making his way to the Cougars side of the field, down to the 41.
That looks almost exactly like what we saw out of the Cougars on their drive. Just flipped, run the inside slant, get the space, and then take the yards after catch.
Hawkins, former Texas State teammates with Cole Wilson. Robertson looking to the outside, and miscommunication between him and Ashton Hawkins. Expecting Hawkins to curl back to the outside, and Ashton was dead set for the end zone there. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go for the Bears.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a wide receiver option, and Hawkins, he definitely had a chance at beating his man to the end zone if they had gone there.
3 receivers to the left. Taz Williams alone on the right. Robertson will just tuck it and run with it up the middle. He's got some room, and he'll fall down at the 31-yard line.
That is a fantastic job of showing where you need to get and when you can go down. Not sliding down early, more of just a curl up, fall to the ground, but it gets the job done anyways, and it's exactly the amount of yards you need to pick up that new set of downs.
Robertson hasn't used his legs all that much this season, has started to be more confident on the ground over the last couple weeks. He picks up a 1st down on that run. Fakes the handoff to Knighton. Finds Cole Wilson up the middle. He's got a blocker, and he's taken down just past the 15-yard line. The Bears are rolling through the air.
Trio on the left, you just leave Wilson a little lower, and it gives him enough space where he's able to make an uncontested grab and then use those legs to find what space is ahead of him on the grass.
Cole Wilson now 2 catches for 28 yards. That one good for 17. Empty backfield for Robertson. Motions Knighton, hands it off on the jet sweep. Knighton cutting it upfield, and he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. So a 3-yard run on 1st down. The Bears are in prime territory. On the right side, Josh Cameron and Cole Wilson stacked on top of each other.
This is about as good as you can get within the 10 and a very easy shot at a new set of downs.
2nd and 3 to go. Fakes the handoff to Knighton, up the middle, tipped up and intercepted. That's number 22, senior Mark Stampley with the interception. That pass was tipped up and picked off in the end zone. Sawyer Robertson's 12th interception of the season.
That's just the kind of play you'll see in Madden. I mean, that goes off of a hand, off of a helmet, flies way up in the air, maybe 10 yards diagonally into the end zone to get brought down for a pick. That's frustrating from the quarterback's side, but you got to get that ball up. He had that up. He had a man in the end zone.
So a promising drive for the Bears ends in a heartbreak. Sawyer Robertson throwing his 5th interception in the last 3 games. And we'll step aside just for a few moments, and we'll be back with Baylor football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Sawyer Robertson throwing an interception in the red zone. That was caught by Mark Stampley on a hit. That's the 2nd interception of the season from the Georgia Southern transfer, who was 5th in the Sun Belt Conference last year with 3 interceptions. As now the Cougars offense with the ball at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Wigman hands it off up the middle. And rumbling down is DJ Butler, the sophomore out of Mobile, Alabama. And 33 yards on the ground, 13 receiving against TCU last week. And the Cougars' 17-14 loss against the Horned Frogs. Good enough for a first down at the 31-yard line. Another handoff. Butler lifted and dropped by Micah Gifford.
But still a solid gain on the run. I mean, we saw in that lost possession from the Cougars, they got everything through the air. The run wasn't really working. Now they're going straight to the ground, and it is getting some stuff done. You're seeing them work to the outside a bit more with Butler in the backfield.
39 yards on the ground thus far. End around gets nowhere. And it'll be a loss of about 8 on that play.
It's trying to get tricky with that. The double fake handoff, you fake one end around, you have Muse come up from the slot to try and get him around. And we talked like the Baylor pass rush didn't do much on the first drive. They broke through and got into the backfield quickly there. So by the time you even get it to Muse, he's already being swallowed up in the backfield.
And Maureen Winston on the tackle, the transfer from Oregon. Now 3rd and 15 for Houston. Bears rush 3. Wigman throws quickly, finds a man, and there's nowhere to go. Keaton Thomas with the tackle, and that'll force a punt from Houston, and a big stop for the Bears.
That's the defense picking up the offense where they make a mistake. The offense, red zone turnover, not a 3 and out, it's a 4 and out. But it gets the job done. You get the ball back right after you lose it.
Liam Doherty, the punter from Australia, the sophomore. It's this one far to the left to Josh Cameron, who receives it around the sideline. He's got some room. He breaks forward past the 50 and out of bounds at the 49. Josh Cameron, the preseason All Big 12 punt returner, showing some of that shiftiness and speed. And we'll take another break, and we'll come back with the Baylor offense trying to tie this one up. The Bears trail 7-0 with just over 2 minutes left in the first. This is Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
And we're back as the Baylor offense gets back out there with Sawyer Robertson. That pick on the last drive, it was a weird one, and it looks like left tackle Caden Siraki almost won the block too well. He had Carmicah Glass out in the midfield pushing him forward, and Robertson's pass off of the face mask of Glass. Glass didn't even know it was coming. So you just throw it into an unsuspecting defender, gets hit off the helmet into the end zone. Like we said, that's a play that is kind of a freak play. You don't see that too often.
And Robertson finding Matt Kloppenstein up the middle, who's going to be the starting tight end over Michael Trigg, who's out. Kloppenstein, typically a run-blocking tight end, only had 5 catches for 42 yards coming into today. That one right there, good for 26 yards to the junior from Scottsdale. Robertson under pressure. Hit wide, throws and the ball's loose. Picked up by Houston. And we'll see if it's a fumble or an incomplete. And the officials say Houston ball.
Yeah, Robertson, he kind of felt the pressure coming from the backside. Just didn't get rid of it soon enough.
And so another offensive miscue by Sawyer Robertson. That's the 12th lost fumble for the Bears this season on 14 total.
Yeah, just can't get rid of it soon enough. Coming around the edge on the play, looks like Corey Platt on the blitz, just getting around and going for the ball first. And he's able to knock it loose, and Sawyer Robertson kind of slapping it forward, but that ball very much loose before he starts that forward motion.
So now the Bears had great field position at the U of H 47. Now the Cougars with the ball in their own 31. Making the handoff is Connor Wigman looking downfield. He'll throw a bomb. Underthrown, and it'll be pass interference. Tevin Williams all over the redshirt freshman wide receiver Kobe Young. And a poorly thrown ball by Connor Wigman, way underthrown. Will get bailed out by Tevin Williams.
Yeah, it's an unthrown ball, but also Williams definitely could have defended that ball himself. He didn't really track the ball as soon as he could have. He was kind of watching Thomas more than he was the ball. So he's going deep. If he'd tracked that ball, if he knew it, he very easily could have doubled back on that and gotten in front of it.
Now 1st and 10 from their own 46. Motions Koziel. Hand off to Dean Connors. He's met in the backfield. Devontae Tesno with the tackle.
The rushing attack's still been going nowhere for the Cougars. It's all been coming through the air for Wigman and his offense. And that's the opposite of what we expected coming into today. And it's props to that Baylor defense to be able to hold the Cougars offense so far.
Tesno now with 3.5 tackles for loss on the season. Looking up the middle, has Koziel, but not a whole lot of yards as he's taken down by Kylan Reed.
And maybe 1 or 2 on the pickup. It's another 3rd and long, and Houston's going to have to go to the air again. They've been in the air all day today, and it worked out on their first drive. Didn't work out so well last drive. And so far, this drive hasn't been working out all too well again. That's props to that Baylor game plan, able to shore up that short field, forcing the Cougars to go into the secondary and send it deep.
Cougars started this game 2 for 2 on 3rd down. Since then, they've been 0 for 2. Now at 3rd and 9. Wigman in the pocket, steps back, steps into the pocket. He's rolling to his right, finds a man wide open. And it's a 1st down for the Cougars.
Dean Connors on the check down. And it was that split second. Wigman staying alive in the backfield just long enough for the man covering Connors to break off and go to cover off the QB rush. As soon as you do that, Connors is in open space. Easy flip for the check down, easy 1st down pickup.
Devin Bobby was on the tackle, sending Connors into his own bench and sideline. But the clock has struck 0 on the 1st quarter. And we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with our second set of 15 minutes here at McLean Stadium. Cougars up 7-0. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
So the sides are flipped as we head to the second quarter at McLean Stadium. In the regular season finale between the Baylor Bears and the Houston Cougars. Cougs up 7-0 on a 27-yard touchdown from Connor Wegman to his favorite target, Amari Thomas. And they're driving once again now at the Baylor 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Wegman on the flat as Thomas breaks a couple tackles, and he's out past the 30 to the 28-yard line, and that'll move the sticks.
J.C. Sneed, it looks like, on the screen out of the backfield. So Coach Fritz using the depth on his offense and in the backfield so far.
Wegman up the middle, off the hands of Sneed.
So there's where that depth kind of starts to hurt you. Stacey Sneed, obviously the senior out of Arlington, not a bad player, but obviously there's some reasons that they're not starting. One of those might not be sure-handed hands. That right there, solid throw from Wegman, a bit out in front, but very much still catchable.
Sneed, as a junior, became the first Houston back with 5+ yards per carry in 3 consecutive seasons since Kenneth Farrow in the early 2010s. Wegman on the outside, cuts upfield, breaks a couple tackles. He's still up. He's going for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Houston. Connor Wegman with a long run. Went to the left side, cut up field, broke a couple tackles, made his way back to the right side, and finds the gold end zone to make it 13-0.
Yeah, it looks like the Bears defense had him strung out off rip, but that's just a great methodical run to take your time, keep the feet chopping, take every small gap that you can get, and eventually those gaps are going to get bigger. There's going to be less defenders, and you can break away and just use Wegman's speed to get to the goal line.
And just some more of the same issues that we've seen from the Baylor defense against the run It's been difficult for the open field tackling. Now, looking at a review, because the ball did come out through the back of the end zone, and I guess they're looking to see if Wegman dropped it before he crossed the plane, or if it was just past getting into the end zone.
Yeah, it looks to me like it was knocked out by the ground, because it was that carrying arm that went to ground first. Could be a big break for Baylor if it does get turned the other way.
And it looks like he's got pretty good control of it in the end zone. And this is a really quick review.
Yeah, that's an easy review for the officials. I mean, you just need to break the plane. Wegman 2 yards into the end zone by the time that ball came loose.
Body was completely in the end zone. So Ethan Sanchez on to kick the extra point. Right now 35 for 35 on the point after attempts.
So the rushing game starting to set up for the Cougars.
The extra point is up, and it is true. 14-0 Cougs over the Bears. And a 28-yard touchdown run from Connor Wegman is the second touchdown for the Cougs after a 27-yard touchdown pass from Wegman to Amari Thomas. And the Bears digging themselves a hole early. We'll step aside for a few moments. This is Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all of the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
$14 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Cougs go up 14-0 over the Bears. Connor Wegman capping off a 6-play, 69-yard drive, taking only 2 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. And the Bears in a familiar sight, down early. It's been a lot of the same issues. Having a difficult time with tackling in the open field, letting Connor Wegman break off a run. And here comes Cole Wilson on his first return. He breaks free past the 50 and pushed out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. Excuse me, the 35-yard line of Houston.
Another big return. Last two return opportunities for this Baylor special teams. And another one past into the enemy territory. It sets up the question that we have from those last two offensive Baylor possessions, though. Can the offense pick up the rest of the team? You get a good return, you get a good defensive stop. Can you get it in the end zone? Can you get it through the uprights? Can you just not turn it over? That's the question that this Baylor offense has to answer.
They've turned the ball over the last two drives. Robertson under pressure. Incomplete. Almost picked off by Latrell McCutcheon. It was right between him and Ashton Hawkins. But luckily for Robertson, the ball sails right by. Second down and 10. Great field position at the Cougars 37. Quick throw to the outside, tipped and incomplete off the hands of Josh Cameron.
Quick 3rd and 10 for the Bears. It's not where you want to be, obviously, and part of it, you're starting to see the Cougars are starting to adapt to what the Bears have been doing their last couple of drives. They're defending the pass better. They're putting more of a pass rush on. The Bears have not been running the ball as much as they did to start the game the last couple of drives.
It was not great range for kicker Connor Hawkins. Throwing to the outside off the hands of Josh Cameron. Can't corral it near the sideline, and it'll be 4th down and 10.
And that's when you gotta bring in, not only to maybe get a first down, but at least to put it within debatable field goal range. But like you mentioned, Jeff, this is now a very deep field goal for Connor Hawkins, who has been struggling a bit more as of late.
This will be a 55-yard field goal. And the kick is up, and it is good.
Just has the distance, just drops in over the crossbar, maybe hits the ground 8 yards out the end of the end zone. Doesn't matter how close it was, it's through either way. You'll take those first points of the game any way you can get them.
And that's a season-long 55-yarder for Connor Hawkins. The redshirt freshman out of Liberty Hill, Texas, was 2 for 3 from 50-plus this season. Make that 3 for 4. Now it's 14-3 Cougs over the Bears. 13:44 left in the second quarter. Had the wind at his back, and you got to believe that helped him get over the crossbar.
100%. This is not a light wind today. It is a strong wind coming from what we think is the north, but yeah, it's just exactly in line with where Hawkins is kicking. Perfectly timed up, and he's still kicking with it as he sends it away.
Red Armstrong's kick out through the back of the end zone. The Bears finally on the board. Now looking for a stop from the defense. Hoping to give the ball back to Sawyer Robertson. His crew try to cut down this deficit. Right now trailing by 11. As you can hear through our mics, a really windy day here in Waco. Cold and cloudy. So first down at the 25-yard line. Out of the pistol. Fakes the handoff to Butler. Under pressure. Dumps it off and finds a man. DJ Butler, who's met at the sideline, taken down.
Yeah, gets the first down, he's rocked, but again, Wegman able to extend the play long enough to pull the coverage in to get that pass rush and then just hit the check down for an easy pickup.
At Adonis Freelou. On the chase, couldn't get Wegman right there. So first and 10 at the 37. One receiver out both ways. He'll tuck it and run with it to the left. And he's met at the 40-yard line.
3-yard gain brought up by Keaton Thomas. Second down.
There's another player down on the field for the Bears as the training staff comes out to have a look.
Looks like it's Devontae Tesno, I think. So 12:41 left in the second quarter. Second down and 7 for Houston at their own 40. Windy day, temperature at 64 degrees here in Waco. And off to the outside, it's Butler. Breaks free, gets to the sideline, and it'll be a first down, but a flag is thrown.
Yeah, the flag's coming in down where Butler was tackled. Makes you think there's probably going to be something on the play.
The officials are talking.
Yeah. Face mask on the defense.
That's Micah Gifford.
That's even more free yards for the Cougars.
That's another one of the multitude of issues with Baylor this season is penalties, averaging 58 yards on penalties a game. That's 88th in the FBS. So they tack on 15 more yards for the Cougs. Wigman stepping back, under pressure, throwing down the middle. It's picked off. Keaton Thomas. And he is wrapped up and taken down at around the 35-yard line. And a big play and a much-needed impact play for this Baylor defense.
It's a fantastic play from Thomas. He's kind of hanging back in the middle instead of following the receiver in man. And then that pass rush finally getting to Wegman and kind of forcing a bit of a panic throw. Just trying to get it up there, get it up, get it downfield. And you don't put it near your guy. You just put it in the no man's land in the middle of the field right where Keaton Thomas is. And it's a nice over-the-shoulder grab on the pick either way. And it'll set the Bears up with good field possession off of the turnover.
Keaton Thomas, his first interception on the season, and comes at a very opportune time. Little under 12 minutes left in the second quarter. And you're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Bears now with the ball after the Keaton Thomas interception on their own 37-yard line. And And that's a toss to Caden Knighton. He's got some room. He's tackled at the 46-yard line.
A yard short of a first down, but it gets you in good position. You haven't seen too many productive plays out of the backfield for the Bears, so it's a good start.
Another handoff up the middle. Gets met quickly, but that'll be plenty to get that first down. Caden Knighton back on the ground. We haven't seen Michael Turner just yet. It's been all Caden Knighton since Bryson Washington went down on that first drive. The wind continuing to pick up. Knighton now with 5 runs. Robertson looking downfield. Finds Kloppenstein underneath. And he'll be taken down at the Houston 41-yard line.
That's a great delayed flat from Kloppenstein, kind of hanging in pass pro for a little bit. No options for Robertson in the passing game. Then you take that flat, you got that little bit of short space, you can pick up a few yards.
Cougs showing pressure pre-snap. Handoff up the middle. Knighton wrapped up quickly. That's Sione Fotu leading the group tackle.
Yeah, but he's able to fall forward enough to pick up the first down. So going from getting met at the line of scrimmage, fighting for just enough yards through contact to reset the down marker and get you a new set of 10.
The Bears so far on this drive, bigger plays in chunks of yards on the first down play, and then you get just enough on second down with a short run. Rose gets a man quickly on the slant. It's Cole Wilson who's brought down after a gain of about 5 on first down. It's actually Kelsey Johnson, third string tight end.
Well, you kind of mentioned chunk gains on first down. Not a big chunk, but 5 yards. You'll take that on any down.
That was his second catch of the season. Had one against UCF for 15 yards. Another run up the middle. And that's with Joseph Dodds, the redshirt freshman out of Markham, Texas. Now they're starting to stray away a little bit more from Caden Knighton. We saw Michael Turner on that last play, and now Joseph Dodds.
Yeah, that's another set of 10. You get those few yards on first down, finish off the 10 yards on second down, restart the down marker.
And the officials whistle on right before the snap. So they stop the play for a review on where the ball should be spotted, whether Baylor gets a first down or not.
Yeah, it looks like the officials, when they were setting that last spot, were debating between, is it second and inches, is it a first down? And they've fully moved on to that new set of downs the next play, so the chains have long since been moved.
We'll see on the Jumbotron right here. Does Joseph Dodds make it? He's still up, and looks like it's pretty close call.
It looks like they did spot it. It looks like they did spot it further than he did reach, where it looks like either way he did reach the first down marker. You just need the tip of that ball to break the plane of the marker, and it looks like the full ball got across at one point before it was pushed back, but forward progress should take him to the new set of downs.
So another quick review. Here's the call. So they'll uphold the call for a first down. The Bears once again driving down, looking to find the end zone for the first time today, trying to cut down this Houston lead.
This feels a bit like that earlier drive. You march down the field, you get those good plays. Ended with an interception that drive, and now you're knocking on the door of the red zone. What's been a struggle for this offense today is playing clean football and keeping it in your own hands. That's the priority for the Bears offense right here.
Two receivers out wide to the left. Motions Cole Wilson to the right. Robertson looking for the slant. Finds Ashton Hawkins, who's taken down at the 23-yard line. Another 5-yard chunk on first down. Putting up second down and manageable. 5 yards to go. Robertson hands it off to Dodds at the middle. He's got a hole. He breaks loose. Still going inside the 10-yard line.
And on the ground for the Bears all day, all drive, it's been, small chunk play, small chunky play, maybe 6 yards at most. Finally, you get one to break through, and you're knocking on the end zone again.
Joseph Dodds, 15 yards on that run. He's met at the line of scrimmage.
Give it to Joseph Dodds.
There'll be no gain on first down.
Last time in this spot, Bears went to the air. Didn't end well for Robertson.
Second and goal, Robertson. He'll tuck it and run with it. Has some open room, and he's in. But there is a flag thrown in the backfield.
Yeah, no officials even signaling touchdowns, so that'll be coming back.
Looks like it'll be a holding against the center, Colton Price.
Number 72, offense.
So another miscue takes 6 off the boards.
Second and goal from deep. Those penalties, they've been killing the Bears today. Third of the day, 40 yards on penalties. And that's a costly one, especially when your offense has been struggling to find yellow all day.
Now at the 18-yard line, second and goal to go. Robertson under pressure. Overthrows Caden Knighton, who is wide open on the flat.
He just panicked. He had 3 free rushers coming straight at him on the blitz, uncontested, untouched, and that's a panic throw. You don't want to get hit. You don't want to get sacked. You don't want to lose the ball. You just throw it up there towards your check down, but it's a rush throw, and it's not going to make it to the man.
It looked like it was designed to have the left side of the O-line run up field trying to block for Caden Knighton, but as he said, Sawyer Robertson panicking on that throw, just lofting it too much. Now third down at the 18-yard line. Robertson throwing on the flat, finds Cole Wilson, and he'll go out of bounds right around the line of scrimmage.
Pass complete to Cole Wilson.
So here comes Connor Hawkins back out on the field, looking to make it an 8-point game. Last time out on the field, set a McLean Stadium record for a Baylor Bears field goal. That 54-yard kick, the longest by a Bear in McLean Stadium history. This one much shorter than 54 yards. Still not an easy one with how the wind's been behaving today.
This one, a 34-yarder. The kick is up, and it is through. Connor Hawkins, now a perfect 5 for 5 in the 30-yard range. And the Bears continue to creep. It's now a one-possession game. They trail 14-6 with 6:22 left in this first half, capping off a 12-play, 46-yard drive. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
So following a Keaton Thomas interception, the Bears found themselves inside the 10-yard line, almost had a touchdown. A rushing one from Sawyer Robertson called back on a hold by center Colton Price, and they eventually settle for a field goal. So it's now 14-6 lead for Houston. The wind coming from the south off of the Brazos River. Brett Armstrong's kick over the end zone and a touchback.
Yeah, those kicks for Hawkins very much being helped out by the wind. In terms of power, I mean, it always gets funky with that direction wind. You get a weird spin on it. Could get knocked straight down, but you got the wind with you. It's working for now. You got to get some points on the board quickly, because once you get to that second half, if the wind's still blowing like it is, you're not going to be able to take those field goals as easily as you are with how strong the wind has been. You've got to find a way to get some more stops on defense, put more points up on the board. This defense has played very well as of late.
And off to DJ Butler up the middle, bouncing to the left, and he's taken down. There is a penalty behind the play. It'll be a holding call on the senior right guard at Magnolia, Texas, Matthew Wyckoff. Spent the last 2 seasons at Cal. Last season only allowed 2 sacks in 171 opportunities.
That'll drag Houston back another 10 yards. Their first penalty of the day.
Houston on their 5th drive this game. 2 touchdowns, a punt, and an interception thus far. Handoff again to DJ Butler. Bouncing around, and another flag is thrown. This time right into the pile. So we'll see what this call is.
Personal foul. Illegal hand to the face. Number 0, defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So it'll be an illegal hands to the face.
That takes away that penalty from Houston, takes away that break you got. And the Bears continue to shoot themselves in the foot with penalties. 4th of the day, now 55 yards on penalties. They come to the day averaging 58.4 yards penalties given up, which is in the bottom half of the FBS. And that trend not changing today in the regular season finale.
Motion Koziel to the left side of the O-line. Hand off to Butler. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another one, and he's taken down in the secondary by LeVar Thornton.
Tackle by LeVar Thornton. Completed for a first down.
Now we see the Houston running game really starting to gain some traction, find its footing in this game.
Now, it's important that you don't let that penalty kill the whole drive for you. You still got 50 yards to stop the defense.
And DJ Butler met at the line of scrimmage. Kylan Reed there to finish the tackle. Second and 10. 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Ball on their own 49-yard line. Fakes the handoff, finds Koziel on the flat, and he's pushed out of bounds, but not before getting a first down.
Again, this is too easy. You scheme up the short flat, enough space for Koziel to get moving, and he gets brought down to the first point of contact, but he's able to get enough speed moving to pick up the first and get a few more through the contact.
Baylor defense continuing to sell out for the run up the middle. Good play action by Slade Nagel and his offense. in the pistol. Hand off to Butler on the left side. He's got nowhere to go. He's got 4 Bears in his face.
Miggs picks up a yard. Good defense on the end.
3-yard gain, 6 down.
Hyland Reed with the tackle again. That's his 4th total tackle. Micah Gifford and Keaton Thomas leading the Bears with 5. 3:37 left. Empty backfield for Wegman. He'll just take it and run with it. And he will dive forward near the 30-yard line.
It really had nothing once he went up the middle, but got tripped up straight away. It's a great job to at least dive and pick up those extra 4 yards off the dive. It's pretty much what you get out of that. 3rd and very, very short. Normally this is a down, you'd just run it up the middle. The Bears have been stopping that, so the Cougars likely looking somewhere else.
Dean Connors back in the backfield. He'll run with it up the middle. He's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, we haven't seen Connors in a long time. And they finally bring him back in, and it's nothing doing. It's 4th and short.
So 4th and 1. Ball at the Bears' 29-yard line, and the offense will stay out. Choosing not to go with senior kicker Ethan Sanchez. McLean Stadium starting to get loud. Wegman rolling to his right, has his tight end wide open. Koziel pushed out of bounds at around the 15-yard line.
And running the flat to Koziel, I mean, again, we said it's too easy, and they keep running, and it keeps working out for Houston. There's just enough space up close on the sidelines to just hit that again and again and again and again, and picking up 10 yards every single time. Koziel now up to 50 yards on the day.
So we'll reach the 2-minute timeout. Connor Wegman, 11 for 15, 122 yards, a touchdown and a pick, leading his offense forward. They're 16 yards away from their 3rd touchdown of the half. But we'll take a moment and we'll be back with the final 2 minutes of the half. This is Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
(14-6) with 2 minutes left in the first half. Cougs well on their way to a third touchdown right now at the Baylor 16-yard line. And really, it's been a very conservative day through the air for Connor Wigman.
Yeah, and that's something that you can kind of expect with the Bears selling out to stop the run. It's leaving those short passes wide open, and they're just hitting that again and again and again, and it's working out. It's got them in the red zone.
Two backs with Connor Wigman. Fakes the handoff. Back to the flat. Tanner Koziel. Shoved out of bounds by Kylan Reed.
So they finally are able to stop that flat outside to Koziel, but again, you can see Houston recognizing that's been working. Those short flats have been working. Just hit him again, hit him again, hit him again.
And they run that play on second straight time. Run it a couple times this drive. Motions Connors out of the backfield. He'll tuck it and run with it. And he's met behind the line of scrimmage. Kyler Jordan with the TFL.
Yeah, that may be an RPO. Looks more like a QB option. Either way, he really opts to keep it himself and send Connors out. But he kept it, and then he doesn't run with it. And he's just hanging in the backfield waiting for a gap to appear that's never going to appear. And it's a tackle for loss.
Great job by Kyler Jordan breaking off that block from the right tackle, Dalton Merriman, the senior transfer from Texas Tech. Kyler Jordan now with 2.5 tackles for loss this season. Had 4 tackles last week in Tucson. Baylor uses their first timeout. Minute 49 remaining. 3rd down and 8 at the 14-yard line. Baylor looking for a big stop here. Trying to keep the Cougars out of the end zone. Wigman, he'll run, breaks one tackle, but he's got nowhere to go. Taken down at the 12-yard line for a gain of 2, and Baylor exhausts another timeout.
And so the Bears looking likely to get the ball back soon. Got to say, you don't see too much movement to send the kicking team out from the Cougars sideline. I mean, 6 yards for a first down, that's tough. But again, this wind today is interesting. It's tough for a kicker to kick into. And it's not blowing as north as it's been, but honestly, that's kind of worse for Ethan Sanchez. Now it's got a bit of horizontal direction to it. So it's a little bit of a crosswind, still blowing against you. That'd be a tough kick to make.
So a field goal from Sanchez, if they don't get into the end zone, would make it an 11-point game. Bears trailing by 8 right now. Now 4th down, they'll be kicking a field goal. It'll be a 30-yarder. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is through. Ethan Sanchez.
The kick is good.
Is now 4 for 5 from 30 to 39 yards, and gives the Cougs a 17-6 lead with 1:40 left. And if you're that Baylor defense, with just how that drive has been going, obviously you don't want to give up points, but you got to be decently happy that it didn't end in 6.
Yeah, and you know, 1:40, that's a lot of time on the clock to do something with. Sawyer Robinson, he's been inconsistent, but he has been able to push the ball downfield, and at this point in the game, that's kind of what you need. You want to take some deep ball risks.
Robertson 8 for 15 today, 89 yards and an interception. Not the game that he's been hoping to have in his final home game as a Baylor Bear. the redshirt senior quarterback, the transfer from Mississippi State. 2 years ago, played a little bit in place for the injured Blake Chapin. The kick is up, and it'll go through the back of the end zone, but Robertson last year didn't have the starting job right away as it was Toledo transfer Daquan Finn who got the nod, got injured in that Week 2 game against Utah, and Sawyer Robertson got the starting job from that, and he hasn't looked back. Been the leader for this Baylor offense ever since. Gets a snap. Clean pocket tipped and incomplete.
That's pretty much the same thing we saw on his interception in the red zone earlier in the half. Just sending that low spiral, that low bullet for the receiver, and the defender not even trying to deflect it, is just kind of there, and you throw it into the face mask of the defensive pass rusher, and it's gonna, this time at least it falls incomplete, but it's the second time we've seen that today.
He'll roll to his right. Robertson with some room, throws on the run, finds Josh Cameron on the sideline, who goes out of bounds.
And he'll take that, stops the clock as the chains move. Quickly up to the line, ready to go for another play as you get closer to midfield.
First time Robertson and Cameron have been able to connect today. Under pressure, rolling to his right, throws on the back foot. And throws it at Josh Cameron's feet for an incompletion.
They just didn't have enough time for the play to develop. You run out of time, you got to try and do something. Good job to even get it close to a receiver, but still, pass rusher just coming straight up at the middle. Nothing doing to the left, nothing doing to the right.
Josh Cameron, touchdown in his last 4 games. He's 1 touchdown away from being top 10 in career receiving touchdowns as a Baylor Bear. Allen, a quick throw to Kloppenstein, makes the catch. Hurry up offense from the Bears.
Very short game. Clock will continue to run. Does make it 3rd and not as bad.
3rd and 6. Bears with 1 timeout. Fakes the handoff. Throwing. Finds Cole Wilson. And that's enough for a first down. The clock will stop as they move the chains. 59 seconds left in the half.
And the clock does stop as you move those chains. You're quickly up to the line, ready to go again. Only a couple seconds lost.
Robertson throwing up the middle. Has Cameron again. Taken down right around the first down marker, and he gets it. Moves the chains, and again, stopping the clock, keeping some precious seconds left. 48 seconds left. Robertson looking to the right side, finds Cole Wilson again. That's another first down, and he's tackled at the 25-yard line.
So again, clock stops when we move the chains. Let's get quickly up to the line and run it again. It's been working. Got 25 yards to go.
A timeout will be called by Willie Fritz and the Cougars. The Bears rolling on this drive. On 7 plays, 50 yards, and have only taken 1 minute off the clock. The 38 ticks remaining before these teams go into the locker room. Touchdown on this drive would be massive for the Bears, right now trailing by 11.
Yeah, I mean, that gets you within 1 score distance, maybe even field goal depending. Now, do you want to go for 2? You want to go for 1? You get it close, a lot closer than it is right now, and you don't get the ball after half, but it's better than being down by 2 scores, especially with a team that has struggled to stay in games in the second half recently.
As the Bears continue to go down the field, you got to stress ball security. Just going pass, pass, pass. Sometimes so Robertson might let one loose and make a not so great throw, but you just got to be smart. 3 points is better than no points. On first down, Robertson throwing to the sideline. Kelsey Johnson wide open. He's out of bounds.
Pass complete to
Kelsey Johnson's second catch of the day, his third of the season.
That's another 10 yards. It's another first down. You keep the sticks moving, and you get out of bounds. So it's a double whammy. Stop the clock, get closer to the end zone. You're into the red zone. Third trip there today for the Bears. Haven't found pay dirt yet.
33 seconds left. Jordan Allen showing pressure. Picked up to the pylon. Incomplete. Dropped by Ashton Hawkins. Had a touchdown in his hands.
And Hawkins was expecting it a bit more on the shoulder. And it was still a very good throw, but it's more on the hip, and Hawkins isn't able to get his hand down enough to secure it firmly.
And that's a throw that the Baylor offense has really liked in the red zone. They've had a difficult time this season connecting, but that was a prime opportunity right there. Robertson looking the other way. Off the hands of Kloppenstein, a little overthrown.
Yeah, if you keep that down and get that on target, you've got him. Kloppenstein had position on his man. He's in coverage by Kentrell Webb, and Webb, for some reason, is covering Kloppenstein solidly behind him, not between the ball or anything, but Robertson just can't hit his man.
Kloppenstein, 6'4", 250. Kentrell Webb, 5'11", 185 pounds. Now 3rd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Robertson back to the end zone. Incomplete, almost intercepted. Right off the face mask of Rook Brown. Tried to get Kobe Prentice, and it was way behind his receiver.
Back-to-back missed passes for Robertson. That one, again, he had, at best case, most likely case, Pater and a touchdown if he is able to hit Prentice. Worst case, that was going to be enough for a first down and a new set of 4. And it's going to turn into another field goal attempt for Connor Hawkins.
So another drive that looked so promising stalls out in the red zone. Timeout will be called. And Willie Fritz trying to ice Connor Hawkins with 19 seconds left.
And this does still bring it to a one-possession game, but not an 8-point one-possession game. So it's not the ideal case, not what you wanted when you came down the field.
So Baylor in this game started off punting the ball in the first drive and then followed that up with an interception and a fumble from Sawyer Robertson. And then they've kicked 2 straight field goals since, looking for one more. And it cut this Houston lead down to 8. This will be a 31-yarder from Connor Hawkins. They already made a 54-yarder and a 34-yarder. Kick is up. And it is good. Connor Hawkins, 3 for 3 today. A 54-yarder, 34-yarder, and now a 31-yard field goal to keep the Bears within 1 score with 15 seconds left. And we had talked about how important special teams are going to be today, and so far Connor Hawkins has delivered.
Absolutely. I mean, for the Bears, it's what's kept them in it. You've gotten some good returns, 3 field goals from Hawkins. He's having a great day so far, especially with how much the offense is struggling in the red zone. You're still within 1 score at halftime, and with how this game's kind of felt, you'll take that if you're the Bears.
17-9 ball game, 15 seconds left before halftime.
So Houston could have a chance to get a good return to try and put up some points. Not too much urgency for the Cougars with an 8-point lead and getting the ball after half, though.
Nakai Muse will fair catch it at the 1-yard line and bring the ball up to the 25. And we'll see if the Cougars will try to air it out really for the first time today, or if they'll just go back and keep it conservative and just go into halftime with an 8-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, conservatives work for Houston, and I don't expect them to get ambitious, risk anything coming the other way with some deep balls. And as you see them getting in that kneel down formation, they'll just take it to half.
So kneel down for Connor Wigman will send the teams into the locker room as the Cougars lead over the Bears 17-9 through one half. Sawyer Robertson for the Bears, 14 for 26, 151 yards and an interception. Connor Wigman, 12 for 16, 127, a touchdown and an interception as well. The Cougars have really been getting it on the ground. 22 runs, 98 yards. DJ Butler leading the way with 47 of those. Connor Wigman with a rushing touchdown. For Houston receiving, Amari Thomas leading the way with 50 yards and a touchdown. Tanner Koziel with 5 receptions and 40 yards. For the Bears on the ground, 13 runs, 65 yards. Caden Knighton leading 6 attempts, 23 of those yards. And then receiving, Cole Wilson has been in on the action, 5 catches, 50 yards. And the Bears will be on defense to start the second half as the Cougars receive. But we kind of expected, it's really worked out well for them today.
It has, and we expected it to be a rushing attack for Houston, and it hasn't really turned into that. The rushing game hasn't been bad, but it's really been that air game that's been killing the Cougars. And like you mentioned, it's conservative passes. As the Bears sell out on stopping the run, the short passes open up, the outside opens up, and that's where they've been hitting. Those short passes to the perimeter, the short flats, especially with Tanner Koziel. Those have been killing Baylor. And Connor Wigman, he's hitting that again and again and again. It's conservative, but it's working. And honestly, I don't expect them to change course in the next half.
U of H coming into today, averaging 172 yards on the ground, 216 through the air. They've been outgaining the Bears thus far, 225 to 216. Another story for the Bears has been penalties have been killing them. 4 penalties for 55 yards, while the Cougars only 1 that amounted to 10 yards.
Yeah, it's for yards, and we've seen it come at some pivotal moments for the Bears. You get Houston pinned back with a 1st and 10. Illegal hands in the face the very next play. Holding down in the red zone takes away a touchdown, what would be your only touchdown of the day. And those are kind of like some of those killers that we've seen today for Baylor that really have changed the game, because if those 2 penalties don't go around, you probably have a 7-point swing in the opposite direction. 3 away from Houston, but 4 more on the board for Baylor. And suddenly, this looks like a totally different 1-point game. Instead, it's an 8-point game going into the locker room.
So that'll do it from us here in the first half. We'll be back a couple minutes before kickoff as the Cougars will receive and start the second half on offense. Make sure to stay tuned. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Bears? Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Just a few moments away to kick off this second half at McLean Stadium. It's the Baylor Bears trailing the Houston Cougars 17-9. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio. For those just tuning in, I'm Jeffrey Cohen here alongside me, Jonathan Scheer. Jonathan, the Cougar offense, very conservative, but just kind of beating down that Baylor defense, just one chunk at a time, and eventually finding their way to the end zone twice today.
Yeah, and that's something the Bears, they have actually gotten better at stopping that as the game's gone on. They forced some turnovers, forced some punts, kept them to a field goal on the Cougars' last offensive possession. It's the Baylor's offense that's really put them in the hole they're in right now.
Ray Armstrong's kick out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Connor Wegman really liking his tight end, Tanner Koziel, especially on that last drive. Koziel, 5 catches for 40 yards with a long of 13. He's been targeted 6 times thus far. And not a whole lot of plays, a lot of throws really going beyond 10 yards. Just a lot of going to the flat, a lot of short slants, and they've just been able to pile it on. Faking the handoff to Dean Connors. Up the middle has Koziel once again. Tackled by DJ Coleman, and it's a first down to open up the second half of football.
That was a perfectly timed pass from Wegman. You had Coleman and Hawkins just sitting in the middle of the defense there. So they had the man coverage there, but there's that one split-second gap that you can hit, and Wegman was able to hit Koziel on that.
Hands it off to Connors this time, and he will be met at the line of scrimmage. 4 Bears combining for the tackle. And Marion Winston will be credited with that tackle.
I think the biggest thing to track on today is we talked a lot about how the Cougars were likely going to run over the Bears on the ground, and they have 98 yards of rushing so far today. That's certainly not a bad number, but it's not been the reason their offense has been beating down Baylor.
That's on 23 runs. They're averaging 4.3 yards a carry. Wegman rolling to the right, and he'll be out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. That's a 37, so he'll lose a yard on that play, and it's third down and 11.
So third and long, Houston, they've been able to convert on third down today, but they've struggled on third and long. They haven't been in third and long too much today, but they've struggled when they are there.
3 for 7 on third downs today. In the pocket, throwing to the outside, has a man caught. Toe tap by Amari Thomas once again.
It looks like they're going to spot him a yard short. He was close, but the throw from Wegman was too far outside, and he had to come further back for it. Then they probably schemed up, and it's going to set Houston a yard short, and it looks like they will be staying out on the field for their around midfield. So 4th and inches, 46-yard line.
On their own 47-yard line. 2 for 2 on 4th downs. Wegman will keep it, and he's tackled around the sticks, but that should be enough for the first down.
Yeah, just need a yard. You get a small gap, and you do exactly what Wegman does there. Run up the middle, and then don't even try to fight for more yards. Just dive down to the ground as soon as you know that you're past the 6.
In motion, Dean Connors from behind him to his left, and basically use Connors as a fullback, leading block on that play. 12:20 left in the third quarter. Koziel and Connors in the backfield. Play action, looking to the left. He'll throw to Connors on the flat, and he will be tackled out of bounds.
Yeah, Dean Connors has not had the dominant day we've expected him to have. That's his 3rd catch of the day. Should put him up around 20 yards receiving now, but on the ground, he has 7 carries for just 15 yards, 2 yards a carry. Not the day that we thought he would have against this Baylor rushing defense.
That was Reggie Bush, the second on the tackle. First time we've called his name today. Wegman hands it off. And there's some room to the left. Connors breaking to the sideline. He's pushed out of bounds.
And there's the first big run of the day for Dean Connors. Just extending horizontal, picking up a half yard at a time. Looking like an exponential function as he legs that out to the sideline and then darts forward for a few more yards.
Tackle Cameron Jenkins hasn't had a whole lot of playing time this season. Brother of Caden Jenkins. Wegman fakes the run. He'll throw it downfield, and he just overthrows Connors off his hand and incomplete.
Perfect wheel route. Just down the sideline, and Connors had his man beat, but you just put it out to the fingertips. And honestly, we've seen a lot of that today. These QBs on both sides not putting the ball on the money, and these receivers struggling to bring in those fingertip balls.
Connors, 2 catches for 19 yards. He's been targeted 4 times thus far. Oceans Koziel to the left. Wigman, he'll be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Keaton Thomas, on the tackle for loss.
Honestly, Connor Wegman has been struggling with those reads on the QB options. We haven't seen it too much today. When we have, he's kept it. It's been the wrong decision. It's the wrong decision again there. Swarmed immediately for a loss.
3rd down and 13. At the Baylor 36-yard line. 2 receivers both ways. And he'll hand it off. Nowhere to go. DJ Butler wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
And Ethan Sanchez definitely has the leg at this distance on a normal day. This wind is picked right back up at the perfect time for the Bears. And
here comes the field goal team after the offense was staying on the field for a while. It's a punt, actually. Excuse me. So not trusting the leg of Ethan Sanchez with the wind blowing at the Cougars' face.
And it looks like they'll take a delay of game.
Right now, punter Liam Doherty lined up at the 50-yard line. So Dave Aranda will decline the penalty. A little bit of back and forth.
And you do want to decline it because the closer you are to the end zone, the harder it is to keep that punt in the field of play. Right now, the Bears playing for a touchback on this punt.
It'll be interesting to see. This one towards the corner. And it is out of bounds. Looks like the wind caught a good chunk of that ball. And we'll see where the side judge marks. It's around the 10-yard line.
I mean, off the foot, that looks like that was either going to be one of the best punts you ever see on the corner or into the end zone. Yeah, that wind just caught it. I don't fault Willie Fritz for not taking the field goal there whatsoever. This is tough conditions for a pro kicker. This strong of wind, headed straight north, straight into the direction you're kicking. You gotta put some heat on that ball. And this wind's also not been straight all day. I mean, you look at the flags above the scoreboard, they're blowing in different directions right now. So it's hard to the north, but it's wavering a bit more east, a bit more west. You got a little bit of crosswind action. Been tough all day for these kickers. Right now it's working with Baylor, and they'll have that for the rest of the quarter.
When we come back, we'll get our first look at the Baylor offense here in the second half. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Nine and a half minutes on the clock in the third quarter. Baylor's offense on the field for the first time this half after forcing a punt from the Cougs, who went down to the Baylor 35-yard line. So the Bears will start at their own 10, trailing by 8. Hoping to find the end zone for the first time in the ball game. Last 3 drives have all ended in field goals. Robertson looks to throw on the first play, rolls to his right, throws it the other way, incomplete.
That is a dangerous pass as he's looking for Hawkins. And he needed a comeback from Hawkins. And it wasn't close enough to Hawkins to even be remotely catchable. The problem is there's a corner between Hawkins and that ball. And honestly, Robertson might have just decided, I'm going to throw it towards Hawkins, but get it to the ground, get it wide. Because if you put that on the mark for Hawkins, that's going to the defender.
He put that towards Will James, as we said, had a monumental day last week. And he gets this one complete.
As Hawkins makes the catch, he gets put through the spin cycle on the tackle. So it's third and short.
James with the tackle. Third down.
The Bears have been able to get these short chunk plays.
Third down and 3. A lot of these later downs in short yardage situations usually running up the middle. See if they go back to that. Robertson looking to go through the air. Finds Knighton on the flat. Gets a blocker and breaks for a first down past the 20-yard line and down to the 22. That's good enough to move the sticks.
It's the second time today that the Bears have converted on third down. 1 for 5 before that play.
Hayden Knighton, the most versatile back on this team. He'll run it up the middle on this play, gets nothing going. Swallowed up by the Houston defensive line.
Yeah, the run game's really been nowhere for Baylor today, especially up the middle. Just had a couple good moments. I mean, Dodds broke free for one big run at the end of the last half, but other than that, they've been getting stopped at the line, stopped after 1 or 2 yards.
Robertson looking to throw. And it is incomplete, almost picked off by Will James. Again, trying to go back to Ashton Hawkins, but throws it right in between Hawkins and James. And just another dangerous ball from Robertson.
So James is almost knowing where the ball is going. I mean, it kind of makes sense. No Michael Trigg, Ashton Hawkins, and Josh Cameron are really the only 2 targets out on the field for Robertson, and Hawkins is his favorite so far today.
Third down and 12 on their own 20. Motions Kloppenstein outside, under pressure. Throws while getting hit and just out of the reach of Josh Cameron. So after one first down, the offense will come off the field. It will come up empty-handed on the first drive.
not the start you want. Big stop from your defense to start the half, and you can't put points on the board. We've seen Baylor struggle in the second half in a lot of their games recently, and you got to find a way to flip that narrative in the second half today against Houston.
So, junior punter Palmer Williams, Ray Guy Award finalist. He boots this one, and there's a penalty flag thrown. That will negate this play.
We'll see you later, Tiger. There's another penalty on the Bears, a false start on the punt. 5th of the day, 60 yards now, costing the Bears with penalties as they put themselves in a further hole. Williams now lining up on the goal line for the punt.
And this one, a high punt from Williams. Mekhi Muse does not signal for a fair catch, fields it around his own 30, and he'll be taken down.
Love that punt from Williams. You've got the wind on your side right now. Just put it up in the air and let the wind take it. Nearly a 60-yard punt.
Evan Williams on the tackle. He was fired up. But we'll step aside just for a few minutes and we'll come back. 17-9 lead for the Cougars over the Bears. 7.5 left in the third quarter. This is Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Cold, cloudy, and windy senior day here in Waco. Bears trailing 17-9. The Cougars will start their drive, their second of the half, on their own 35-yard line. Wegman with a back to both of his sides. DJ Butler to his left, and he motions Stacy Sneed out of the backfield. Hands it off to Butler up the middle. Not a whole lot going right there. Caleb Burns and Cooper Lands combining for the tackle there.
There's a thing. Not a whole lot going for the running game all day for Houston. They've gotten a few big runs. They had one last drive with D. Connors. You'll break away to the outside here and there. You'll break away up the middle here and there, but it's not working consistently. So clearly Baylor game planning very effectively for that side of the game.
And we had talked about how important it is for this defense to have multiple guys to the ball, as this one's thrown deep down the sideline and way overthrown. There's a penalty marker thrown late.
Pass intended for Kobe Young. Penalty marker down.
Looking for Kobe Young, and Flag thrown at the 40-yard line behind the play.
It looks like that'll be holding.
Contact on the route. Here's the call. Looks like we're going to have some more discussion. The crew chief was about to make the call and looked to his other officials, and here we go. And a pass interference against Coulter Williford.
That's a rough break for the Bears. How about another penalty? That one putting the Bears above 60 yards on penalties today.
That's their 6th penalty of the game.
I'm sure it sets them at 75 yards. That one, that's a tough break. That's a tough call. But they're going to have to find a way to move on from that. It looked to be very, very early on in the route for when that call was made, because there was no contact made along the last few strides.
Ball at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Run with Dean Connors to the left side. He breaks off a chunk, getting down to the Baylor 46-yard line. A gain of 6 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 4.
Yeah, so it definitely was early contact on the play. It was only a 4-yard penalty on the pass interference. Very early contact.
Sun starting to poke out from the clouds. Wegman running to the left. He'll tuck it, and he'll get a first down, and there he goes down the sideline. And he won't escape Devin Bobby, but he gets down to the 5-yard line. Great blocking by the Cougars, setting up their quarterback for a big run.
Yeah, we saw it on a touchdown earlier today. We see it again there. He's not shifty, he's not exceedingly fast, but he's smart and he's patient. And he gets out to the outside, and instead of stepping out of bounds, he's going to sit there a second and wait, and he's going to see that gap open up as his guys continue to block, and once that gap's open up, he's just going to explode down the sideline.
1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Hands it off to Connors up the middle. He'll take it himself, and he's taken down right before getting to the goal line. And Marion Winston saving a touchdown on that play.
Yeah, that is a nice tackle right on the goal line to not allow any more progress. I mean, yeah, we see the replay. He fully turns Wegman's body around to keep the ball from crossing the plane.
I formation. Wegman, move it to the outside, and is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Cougars.
And that's all Connor Wegman doing it himself from the 50-yard line all the way to the end zone. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, and he is continuing an absolute tear on the ground. Set a Cougars season high for a QB, 114 yards last week against TCU, like we mentioned, most in a game in 4 years for the Cougars since Clayton Tune was the quarterback for Houston, and he's already up to 88 and 2 touchdowns today.
Ethan Sanchez's extra point is up, and it is good. Lined up in an I formation at the 1-yard line. Looked like they were just going to go all power, but Connor Wegman pulls it to the right side and just breaks the plane for the touchdown, and the Cougars go up 24-9, just under 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
A 1-yard rushing touchdown for Connor Wigman, his second rushing touchdown of the game, now 11 on the season. Capped off a 5-play, 65-yard drive, taking 2 minutes and 36 seconds off the clock and giving the Cougars a comfortable 15-point lead. It's 24-9, just under 5 minutes left in this third quarter of play. Yoakum's kick into the end zone, fielded near the goal line by Cole Wilson. Looking for a block. There he goes. Past the 30-yard line. And he's taken down at around the 35. Cole Wilson proving to be dangerous when he fields the kickoffs.
Yeah, just seeing red and sprinting forward, and it works. So we had good field position for the Baylor Bears today. We've seen that. They haven't been able to convert it into many points. Got 3 straight field goal drives at the end of the half. We've said they need a touchdown earlier today, but now you kind of really do need a touchdown, trailing by 15. Just 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
His first throw dropped by Matt Klodenstein. Heavily guarded by Jalen Garner, the weak side linebacker, and Sawyer Robertson threaded the needle right there, but just unable to connect.
That was some good defense. Garner staying with it, still swatting at it after Klodenstein's got it in his hands.
Throwing on the flat, it's a screen. And down the sideline, pushed out of bounds. It's Kobe Prentice. Prentice, who had 6 touchdowns in his first 5 games. Since then, no touchdowns. He only had 5 receptions and for 19 yards in his last 4 games. And gets a big one right there. Run up the middle with Joseph Dodds. Spins out of a tackle and gets down to the 24-yard line.
And going back to that long screen pass to Prentice, it was a perfect block on the sideline from Ashton Hawkins. Not just simply taking the block, but taking the block out of bounds, creating that movement to build that space and build in kind of a secondary block for the guy following Prentice.
Another run up the middle, pushing the pile, and it keeps on going. When will they blow the whistle? It's still going, and there it is. Marked down at the 19-yard line. That's good enough for a first down.
I mean, they were letting that go for a while. That was all 22 players on the field, including Sawyer Robertson, just in a mob, just pushing forwards.
Baylor trying to will themselves into the end zone. Robertson tucks it and runs. And he'll take it down to about the 8-yard line. Fans booing. Looked like a Cougar defender almost got a hand on Robertson's face mask during the run, but not enough to draw a flag. You can see a hand getting in there. The Baylor faithful not happy about that no call. 2nd down and 3 at the 12-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Bouncing out is Caden Knighton. He is swallowed up, and he'll lose a yard on that run.
Bears back in the red zone. They've had 4 trips to the red zone today. This is that 4th. Only 2 scores, and those are field goals. They haven't found the yellow. They haven't hit pay dirt, and that's been a struggle for them. They get inside of the 20, and then those chunk plays just stop. Those passes aren't completed. The runs are stopped at the line of scrimmage, and really the most successful player we've seen running down in the red zone is Sawyer Robertson. He's had a couple good runs. One of those a touchdown that got called back, but other than that, they haven't been able to find much production within the 20.
So player down for each side getting attended to.
Jeffrey, what are you looking to see here on 3rd and mid-distance for the Bears, about 12 yards out?
I think I'm honestly looking for Matt Kloppenstein. I want to find him down the middle. I think he's a big body. You get him coming on the inside, and then at some point in that route, square up your body to Sawyer Robertson, make the catch facing your quarterback, and then just falling back. You need 3 yards on this 3rd down. You got to protect it. I think you got to get your biggest body down the middle. So Baylor players still down on the turf.
Dave Aranda now out on the field as well. The training staff sending the other players away from the spot.
And so we'll step aside just for this moment, and we'll come back and we'll report on the injury. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
So a scary injury. Freshman running back Hayden Knighton put on a stretcher now on a cart, lifting his fist up, getting an ovation from the McLean Stadium crowd. You never want to see something like this for a guy who's had a great stretch of games, a freshman out of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. Standout 3-star running back. He's praised as a great leader. Willing to put himself out there for his teammates by his high school head coach, and some more ovation from the Baylor fans. And as through Baylor, you already lost your starting running back on the first drive, and now a scary injury for your second string running back. And after a decently long pause of gameplay, how do you bounce back from that?
You got to bounce back right into the red zone, and that's where we are. 3rd and 3 at the 12. And suddenly you have to get right from that into the game mindset.
3rd down and 3 at the 12-yard line. Handoff. No, Sawyer Robertson's going to keep it, and he's taken down for no gain. And just a poor read by Sawyer Robertson to make it 4th down, and the offense will stay on the field, trailing by 15.
Xavier Tibbs wasn't fooled by that for a second. He knew that Robertson had it. He followed him the whole way out to the sideline, brought him down. Honestly, good on Robertson for keeping that from becoming a loss. He's able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
First tackle for Xavier Tibbs. Robertson looking to the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. And there are no flags thrown, a lot of contact on that route. And the Baylor fans showing their displeasure. And it'll be a turnover on downs. A lot of contact both ways, and no laundry on the field.
Yeah, you'll give it to the defender turned his head and was looking for the ball argument, but a lot of contact. Robertson did kind of overthrow it.
Yeah.
But close as you get, the Baylor Bears come up short in the red zone again. It stays a 15-point game. And now this Cougars offense back out on the field. Going to be ready to kind of just start to pound the rock on the ground with under 2 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Baylor 2 for 4 in the red zone. Both times they have scored have been off the leg of Connor Hawkins. Run with Dean Connors to the right side. Matthew Fobbs White is there to meet him.
Connors still really doing nothing much. He had that one big run last drive, but other than that, he has not been able to get going.
It's really only been Connor Wigman who's been able to break off some bigger runs right here. Other than that, DJ Butler, Stacy Sneed, and Dean Connors have been kept decently under wraps. 2nd and 9, 1:10 left in the 3rd quarter. Wigman will take it himself. Finds a hole, spins, and is taken down by Devin Bobby.
5-6-yard gain puts him above 90 yards on the ground.
Third down and 5 to go on their own 17-yard line. There'll be Amari Thomas and Kobe Young on the right side. 3 receivers to the left. Motions Connors into the backfield. Wigman, clean pocket, and just throws it into the ground. Looking for Dean Connors, and he won't be able to connect.
Yeah, and I don't even know if you can say he's looking for Dean Connors on that. Dean Connors is the eligible receiver in the area, but under a ton of pressure, nowhere to go. Don't want to give Baylor any easy opportunities when you have this big of a lead and you're this close to your own end zone.
Surely just to protect the ball, not give Baylor any chance to force a turnover. So Liam Doherty lined up at his own 3-yard line. This one is shanked. It'll go out of bounds at about the 50-yard line.
You know what? That works out for Doherty. Right as he was punting that, the wind kicked up a lot in McLean, and you know he probably felt that down there. It looks half shanked. Look half like what you've got to do when you have this strong of wind, which is keep it low. Get it as low to the ground as you can, and even getting 35 yards out of a punt in those conditions is respectable for Doherty.
So a major 3-and-out forced by the Baylor defense gives the ball back to their offense. Still looking for that first touchdown, had a chance. They'll run up the middle. That's with Dodds, and he gets a good chunk. That's about 7 yards on first down. And again, the Bears having a lot of success on first down plays as the clock will strike 0 as we head to the final quarter of this football game. The Houston Cougars lead the Baylor Bears 24-9. We head to the last 15 minutes. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Remaining, the final game of the regular season. The Bears fighting to extend their season one more game and become bowl eligible. They need this win, standing at 5-6. The Houston Cougars looking for win number 9. Their second year under Willie Fritz, who game over from Tulane. Finds Cole Wilson on a screen to the outside and out of bounds. And it'll be a first down on that 2nd and 2 play.
Yeah, not only do you need to get into the end zone situationally because you're down so much in the fourth quarter, field goals aren't really an option going in this direction on the field with how strong the wind is. It'd need to be a 17-yard chip shot to even be possible.
Facing the wind now, throws, finds Cole Wilson, breaks the tackle, moves upfield past the 25-yard line, and will move the sticks once again.
And that should put Cole Wilson around 70 yards on the day through the air.
Cole Wilson, as we mentioned earlier, 134 yards in week 1 against Auburn. The best he's done since then was against Utah, where he had 87 yards as Dobbs bounces off a defender, keeps on chugging, and will be taken down at the 18-yard line.
But this does look and feel familiar. The Bears have done this all day today. They've marched down the field 5, 10, 15 yards at a time into the red zone, and that's where they've stalled out every single time. They are yet to find pay dirt. They've gotten 2 field goals out of it, and nothing much else.
Robertson surveying the field. He'll roll to his left, to the end zone. Incomplete, and there are flags thrown. A lot of contact both ways. Latrell McCutcheon was celebrating on there, so we'll see who this goes against.
Yeah, but now he looks frustrated.
And that will be a pass interference against Latrell McCutcheon. Only the 2nd penalty for the Cougars today. And McCutcheon, right after him and Wilson went to the ground, calling for that flag and clapping his hands when he saw the yellow. But it ends up not going his way, so it'll be first down and goal from the 3-yard line. Joseph Dodds, the only running back left. He goes up the middle. He is met trying to keep himself up, and he'll be taken down at about the 1.5-yard line.
But that's something. That's the closest the Bears have been all day today. When they've gotten this close to the end zone, they've generally stopped gaining yards even. So if you're gaining 2 yards a rush, that's better than they've been doing, and that should eventually get Baylor into the end zone.
So Dodds, now the only running back healthy. He goes up the middle, near the goal line. Did he get in? No, he did not. He's met at the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. So Bryson Washington injured on the 2nd play of the game. Caden Knighton came out of this game after a scary injury. Michael Turner ruled out on Wednesday. And then Dawson Prendergrass out for the year. That was before the season started. Going back up the middle, Michael Dodds into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Joseph Dodds, his first touchdown of his collegiate career, the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, now you got a game.
The Bears now down by 9, and there's a decision to make. You have to go for 2 at some point, so do you go for it now? And it looks like they're going to go for 2. So you either do it now, or you kick an extra point, make it an 8-point game, and hope to get another touchdown, and then go for 2.
Honestly, I respect this. I don't know if we'll ever see Baylor go for an extra point on this side of the field the rest of the game.
Sawyer Robertson, he'll take it into the end zone, and it's a successful 2-point conversion. And that'll make it a 7-point game. It's 24-17, Cougs on top with 12:19 left to go.
That's just a fantastic decision from Sawyer Robertson. Didn't necessarily look like a design QB draw. If it was, he sold it very well. But he took 1 step back on the drawback. There's a massive gap in the middle, and just take it if it's there. Dive into the end zone. and now you're down by 7. Extra point would tie it, but like I was kind of saying, I don't know if we'll see Baylor take another extra point the rest of the game. With the way the wind's blowing right now, the extra point is not a sure thing on this end of the field.
That's the play the Bears have loved to run inside the 5-yard line. You spread the offense around, you have a pass play, and then you just open up a hole for Sawyer to tuck it and run with it. But we'll come back. It's a one-possession game here in Waco with just over 12 minutes left. This is Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
Have a ball game here in Waco. A 1-yard touchdown run by Joseph Dodds, capped off a 7-play 50-yard drive, and then a 2-point conversion ran in by Sawyer Robertson, makes it a 7-point ball game. It's 24-17, Houston leads. Sun is out and shining off those chrome helmets. Short kick by Rhett Armstrong, fielded by the Cougs. And they won't go very far. Fielded around the 15-yard line and taken to about the 20.
That is fantastic kick coverage right there. It's a short kick. It's gonna be with how strong this wind is going right now. It is kicked all the way up for the fourth quarter, and to get down there and prevent really much of any return, maybe 5 yards, is a great performance.
Knocking around my papers. 12 minutes, 12 seconds left in regulation.
And they're gonna throw it, and Wigman is gonna take it himself, finds a gap up the middle, not much.
He's taken down by Caleb Burns. Wind picking up here in Waco.
Only got 3 yards on the pickup, and again, the Cougs still struggling through the ground, excuse me.
154 yards on the ground. Connor Wigman leading the way. His throw incomplete, and there's a late flag thrown.
Yeah, and that official was going for it as soon as he saw the players going around. He was pulling out, gearing up for it like he's Tom Brady to chuck that 20 yards.
And that's a pass interference against Tevin Williams. Penalties just continuing to eat up the Bears. That's the 7th one now for 86 yards. Against the Cougs with 2 for 24.
And it's a tough call. Connor Wegman's been farming those underthrown pass interferences all day, but still, you gotta be cleaner than that.
Run up the middle. DJ Butler gets a couple down to the 39-yard line.
2nd and 7 to go. The Bears have bounced back from tough penalties before in this game.
A 2nd down and 7. Wegman fakes the handoff, throws on his back foot, and he just throws it out of bounds. And Harvey Broussard in the area.
Yeah, that's a smart play, Connor Wigman. You're not escaping that sack. And I mean, Broussard is in the area, but if you put it on its numbers, you're going to have to float that there. Probably becomes double coverage by the time the ball gets there, and that's in turnover territory.
It's now imperative for this Baylor defense to lock in for this 3rd down and 7. Wigman looking to his left. He's going to step up and he's going to run. Met with Caleb Burns, and he's short.
That is a huge solo tackle for Caleb Burns. That close to the marker. And not much hesitation from this Cougars sideline at all. They're leaving Wegman out there. They're going to go for it on 4th and 2.
Caleb Burns, his 3rd tackle of the day. What could be a game-changing play. 4th down and 2. Cougs on their own 44-yard line. They are up by 7. Wegman rolls to his left. And it's off the hands of Amari Thomas and incomplete. A big stop for the Baylor defense.
That was great defense from Baylor, but he had Thomas if he hit him in the hands, but it's out low, it's out in front. And Thomas isn't going to be able to reel that in, not with a guy right on his back.
And it's been tough sledding for both offenses in the second half. Ooh.
That was almost tipped by the Baylor defense, too. Just great coverage on 4th and 2. And that's a big development, too, because we've seen the Cougars killing Baylor on those short passes to the outside all day long. And the Bears finally find a way to stop it.
Robertson handing it off to Joseph Dodds up the middle. He gets a big chunk on 1st down of 11. Moving the sticks on 1st down once again.
Yeah, McLean Stadium really, since the end of the 3rd quarter, has kind of come back to life. It's gotten a bit revitalized. It's gotten a bit louder since it's been since half.
Robertson looking to throw. Going to his right. It is tipped and incomplete.
That was dangerous territory. Looking for Josh Cameron, nearly picked off.
Will James on the pass breakup. James with 4 coming into today. The 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers to the right. Ashton Hawkins alone to the left. They'll run up the middle with Dodds. He's got nowhere to go. He's taken down.
And coming on, that's Jordan Allen running in from the side, giving Dodds nothing. So it's 3rd and long now. And with the way the wind's going, this is not field goal range for Connor Hawkins. He's got to get closer.
Hawkins, who struggled from deep, he was 5 for 8 from the 40-yard range coming into today. 2 for 3 from 50-plus. Nailed the 54-yarder earlier. A throw, and is dropped by Josh Cameron. Had it in his hands. And that just hasn't been a consistent connection all day. Trying to find Josh Cameron, and a couple of dropped passes, a couple of missed throws, and the 2 redshirt seniors haven't been able to find each other today.
And you go for it here. Nothing much lost by going for it. Your only other option is a punt.
4th and 9 from the Houston 31. Robertson going for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Josh Cameron! And it is a 1-point game. That looks like Will James. Josh Cameron kind of hung with him, and then you lolly a little bit. You pull back, and then you just gun it. And at that point, Will James, he's getting ready to kind of come in and help on a QB run or rush or short pass on a check down from Sawyer Robertson.
That leaves Josh Cameron wide open in the end zone.
And that is career touchdown number 19 for Josh Cameron, tied for 10th all-time in program history, as the kick is good. So we are tied here at McLean Stadium, 24-24. As a 31-yard touchdown throw from Sawyer Robertson, a gutsy call from Jake Spavital on 4th and 9. And it is a whole new ball game. 8:53 remaining in the fourth quarter. This is Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
New life has been injected into this McLean Stadium crowd. A 31-yard touchdown throw, Sawyer Robertson to Josh Cameron. They've had issues on that connection throughout the ball game, but Josh Cameron beating Will James and just catching that ball in stride, finding the end zone to tie this ball game. The kick from Rhett Armstrong, fielded past the 15-yard line. And the return man will be marked down by Kai Muse down to the 25.
That's another great performance from the kick coverage team. Received at the 15, bring him down by the 25. Same thing as a touchback. Good coverage, prevents a good return. And it's from that point of contact. The Bears defense and the team in general is really struggling to bring guys down at that first opportunity to get those tackles in the first half. In this second half, the last quarter, they have not been. They've been doing a great job of tackling at the first point of contact.
It'll be a run on first down. Not much going for Connor Wigman. Jackie Marshall, Kylan Reed combining on the tackle.
And the Bears defense looking to start to figure out the Connor Wigman rush. Hasn't been working the last few times he's tried that.
So far in the second half, the Baylor defense has forced 2 punts and a turnover on downs, as well as giving up a touchdown. Looking downfield, it's man wide open. Amari Thomas slides and makes the catch at the 43.
Wide open's an understatement. Looked like he was on the free parking space to the board. And if Wigman's able to put that on the numbers on the chest, Thomas probably has another 10, 15 yards to gain if he's able to fight his way up field instead has to slide down, take it where he's got it. Still a first down, though.
Found the hole in the Baylor coverage. Wigman, he'll tuck it himself. Again, nowhere to go. Met by a wall. Adonis Freelou. Who only has 3 tackles coming into today. Now with 2 today as well. 2nd down and 11. Ball on Houston's own 42-yard line. Wigman, quick throw on a slant. Has a man, it's caught. Who else but Amari Thomas?
That's, again, honestly perfect play. Well run, short slant, perfect timing. That's actually a play that was killing Baylor in the first quarter, and Coach Chris hasn't brought it out since.
So 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Ball at midfield. Defense already came up clutch last drive, forcing a turnover on downs on a 4th and 2. Wigman throws on the flat. It's wide open and out of bounds.
Pass complete to
Amari Thomas.
Good for a first down.
No one able to track him down. Was in motion in the backfield. And it'll be a key first down for the Cougs.
Yeah, I love that play design. Just string out the play long enough, create plenty of space. You don't need the big play, you just need 3 yards for a first down.
Amari Thomas in motion once again. Wigman under pressure, breaks out of a tackle, throws out of bounds. Falling down, he threw that while he was horizontal.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it before the game, Jeffrey. The Baylor pass rush was going to be important today. Wigman succeeds in the pocket, and he exceeds when he's running downfield. He struggles off platform and off script. We've seen the defense be able to force them off script a lot more in this second half.
Broke a shoestring tackle by Kylan Reed. 2nd down and 10. Wigman in the pocket, throwing to the outside, and it's just over a falling Amari Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas had the right idea there. Come back for it, because he was tightly covered by
DJ Coleman right there.
DJ Coleman on the coverage. Tightly covered. You got to come off of that to be able to make the play. Wegman put it on the money, and Coleman, if he had been a bit more on his toes, almost would have been interception territory on that throw.
3rd down and 10 on the Baylor 45-yard line. 6 minutes and 4 seconds left to go. 24 all. Mikey Gifford coming off the edge, throwing, has a man on the flat, and he's nowhere near the marker.
And that's just great team tackling on the play. Coming over for the tackle was Caleb Burns, and then coming up from the front, you had Simpson Hunt, and Calvin Simpson, he didn't get the tackle. Didn't really do anything, but he blocks off that front side, and there's nowhere to go. So you do just have Burns running in from the side and blowing him up out of bounds.
Now 4th down and 6. We already had a major 4th down. This one, arguably even bigger. Under pressure throws, caught. Amari Thomas diving towards the sideline, and he secures it for a first down.
Yeah, huge play. That is the connection that has been doing everything for Houston, especially because we haven't seen Tanner Cozio involved in the second half at all. It's been nothing but Connor Wigman and Amari Thomas.
And you could just feel McLean Stadium deflating. It was a key 4th down. Wigman keeps it, finds Cozio on the flat, leaps over a man, and he's out of bounds short of the first down marker.
Yeah, Houston, they've chewed off 5 minutes from the clock on this drive already, as they continue to work their way downfield. They just need a field goal to put themselves in front, and they're more with the win than the Bears are.
Hand off to Dean Connors, breaks a tackle, and he'll be taken down a yard past the line to gain, and that'll move the sticks. And this is very reminiscent of the Arizona game, the open conference play. Tied 24-all late in the fourth quarter. Baylor had scored a touchdown. At that point, it was with about 2 minutes left. And so Arizona State just worked their way slowly down the field enough to get a game-winning field goal, and it feels the exact same today. But just with more time on the clock for the Cougs. Connor Wigman keeps it, and he will lose a yard on the play.
Yeah, the Connor Wigman keepers have not been it on this in this second half for Houston. They've got to keep going through the air. They've been killing the Bears there on this drive, and it's what they're going to have to look to again, because the Bears' run defense is still solid. They're still performing well. They're still stuffing it up the middle, and breaking one 8-yard run every 8 attempts isn't going to be a net positive.
Yeah, outside of that touchdown drive in the third quarter, not much has gone for Wigman and the run game. 3:25 left. Another handoff to Connors. Off the edge, and he's pushed out of bounds by Micah Gifford. Houston trying to find different angles in this run game. He pretty much went up the middle for most of this ball game, now finding Dean Connors on the outside to make it a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, that's 2 big runs back-to-back for Dean Connors, who might finally be finding something to get going.
Connors, 12 runs for 49 yards.
Baylor defense looking a little bit out of sorts as they get ready.
Send a pass rush, throw to the corner of the end zone, and there's a flag thrown. It's going to be pass interference on Devin Bobby.
Again, you just got to play clean football. 4th pass interference penalty we'll see against the Bears today. Going to put them at 8 penalties, more than 85 yards of penalties today for the Bears, given up to, compared to the Cougars, 2 penalties for 24 yards. You talk about turnover margin. Penalty margin is also just as huge when it's this big. And that has been a difference maker between the Bears and the Cougars today.
It's really been night and day. Houston, 2 penalties for 24 yards. That's Baylor's 8th. Now just short of 95 yards on just penalties alone. You're getting outgained by almost 70 yards just by penalties alone, and you can't really expect to win. Bring out a heavy set. Run up the middle, just short. Dean Connors down to the 1-yard line.
He got tripped up, flipped over, wasn't able to fall forward. You got to do that 2 more times and then hope that the Cougars take a field goal. They very well might. There's going to be probably 2 minutes left. I wouldn't be shocked if Houston takes this to the 2-minute warning.
Clock rolling down, 2:07. And it looks like they'll just let this go to the 2-minute timeout. And they will. That's putting the Bears in a difficult spot. 2 minutes left to go. The Cougars at the Baylor 1-yard line in a tie ball game, 24-24. And we'll be back with the final 2 minutes of regulation. You're listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Two-minute timeout has concluded. The Cougars driving down inch by inch, 14 plays, 73 yards, 6 minutes, 42 seconds taken off the clock. 6 passing, 6 completions, and 6 running plays. 5 first downs. And now if you're the Baylor defense, you've gotten to the point where it's more beneficial to just let them score at this point than to try and stop them and let the clock run down. You want to keep those 3 timeouts when you get back on offense. 2nd and goal. Flag thrown. Dean Connors is in, but we'll see what the penalty is.
And the official throws the flag, signaling touchdown.
Looks like it might have been offside. Connor Wigman signaling touchdown. So it will be a touchdown for the Cougs. Now up 30-24. A minute 57 left in the 4th quarter.
And you'll take that it's only 3 seconds off the clock. Worst case scenario would have been draining it down to 4th down and then a touchdown. You have a minute 57 and 3 timeouts. And trail by 7 pending the PAT from Ethan Sanchez.
Wind at his back. The point after is good. So a 7-point lead for the Cougs. They're up 31-24, capping off a 15-play, 74-yard drive, taking just short of 7 minutes off the clock. And that's exactly what Houston wanted after Baylor tied this game.
Exactly. I mean, Baylor's in a very tough spot now. All the momentum going their way. It's totally flipped. Those long, grueling drives take more out of you by far than a quick strike, 60-yard big play. You would have rathered that because that gives you more time to work with. Now, you have to be efficient. You have to be successful. And the way Baylor's been succeeding is 5-6 yards at a time, grind the ball downfield. That's going to be very tough to do to stay within that time limit now. You need it. This is a textbook 2-minute drill. Get down the field in 2 minutes, get the ball in the end zone. And you're going to need some big plays to do that. You're going to need some chuck 15, 20-yard plays to be able to make that happen.
And we were talking about it throughout this season. In the 4th quarter, we've seen 2 Sawyer Robertsons. First half, we mainly saw the hero ball, Sawyer Robertson connecting on deep throws, finding the end zone, trying to will his team back into games. But over the course of the last couple of matchups, we've seen a completely different Sawyer Robertson. Poor ball security, throwing interceptions, and right now Baylor desperately needs that hero ball. Down by 7 with under 2 minutes to go. Their last stand for a bowl game, and the last chance to end the legacy of these seniors on a high note here in McLean Stadium. And so, Jonathan, who do you think Sawyer Robertson needs to find the most as they drive down this field?
I mean, you kind of said it last time, like, who else but Josh Cameron? It's got to still be Josh Cameron. And we've kind of been mentioning it earlier. We'd like to see some 50-50 balls, and that's something that I think we might end up seeing here. Josh Cameron is a great receiver. He is a threat for deep balls, for 50-50 balls, and that's something you're going to have to lean on. I mean, it's Josh Cameron and Ashton Hawkins. Those are really your two options at this point in the game. And if you got to pick one, you probably go with Josh Cameron for the deep ball threat.
Yeah, and throughout this game, Robertson and Cameron had issues being able to connect with each other. A lot of that was on a lot of these outside slants, and Robertson's trying to get Cameron right as he breaks for the middle, but Cameron was unable to break off a defender, and whether it was a poor throw, whatever it was, it just wasn't working. And has been able to find Josh Cameron in different ways, like that touchdown on that go route, found him in the end zone, caught him in stride for a touchdown. And so I think now you got a bit major sense of urgency trying to send this game into overtime. You're not going to go to those slants. You're going to want chunk plays and plays that are going to give you the most success. This ball will bounce in the end zone for a touchback. So the Bears getting the ball at the 25-yard line. Robertson 20 for 39 today, 247 yards, a touchdown, and a pick.
This really is the 2-minute drill you scheme up in practice. You start at the 25, you need to get 75 yards, you need a touchdown, and sometimes, I mean, you got 3 timeouts. That's actually a huge bonus for Baylor. Those 3 timeouts are going to help them out a lot this drive, but you still got to be efficient, you still got to find the end zone.
Josh Cameron alone to the right. Robertson looking to the left, steps up in the pocket, throws it downfield. It's caught! And down is Kobe Prentice. And just what the doctor ordered, a big play on the first play of the drive, finding the Alabama transfer.
Yeah, you said it, Jeffrey. Are we going to see the Sawyer Robertson who can hit a deep ball in hero time? We just saw it right there. And also, Kobe Prentice just putting Rook Brown in a blender deep on that route.
Robertson throwing underneath. Has a man. Tackled down past the 20-yard line. Kobe Prentice once again.
And suddenly, you're at the point where you're okay with chewing some time off of the clock. You don't want to leave time for Houston to get charged down the field and get a game-winning field goal. Your goal now is to get that touchdown, and you have a lot of time to do that.
Screen to Kobe Prentice, who runs out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:09 left. On a 2nd and 2 play, it's now first down for the Bears.
Yeah, and the approach does completely change when you're able to connect on that 50-yard ball on first try. It really does, because now you have more time. You can take those shorter gains. You can work. You have a lot more options to work out on the field.
Now at the Cougars' 13-yard line. Robertson looking downfield. Rolls to his right, throws on his back foot, and just throws it to nowhere.
Yeah, that's a smart play from Sawyer Robinson. The last thing that you want to do at this point in the game is take a loss.
Yeah, Carlos Allen in his face, the senior transfer from Kennesaw State, came into today tied with a team lead 72 tackles at 7 tackles for loss, 4.5 of those coming in his last 5 games. So now 2nd and 10 with 1 minute and 1 second left. Robertson after a few claps, looking for the sideline, and it's incomplete. Looking for Ashton Hawkins, whose helmet got knocked off. 3rd down and 10. Tried to throw a jump on. Baylor fans not happy seeing the replay.
And that's arguable. I mean, the defender going up and knocking off the helmet from below by hitting the face mask, that's very close to hands to the face territory. No fan's going to be happy about that.
Now for the Bears, do you go for the end zone on 3rd down, or do you try to go underneath and set up an easier 4th down? 3rd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Robertson gets a snap. Big pressure, rolls to his right, throwing for the end zone. Incomplete. And there is no flag thrown. Latrell McCutcheon, it looked like he got there a little early before the throw, and oh my goodness, so much contact.
An awful call.
So much contact at the beginning of the route and at the end, all over Jaden Porter.
I mean, 6 officials on the field and not a single one of them seeing that. There's a lot you can say that these officials have called on the Bears today that has been right. The Baylors have just been sloppy. That is a missed call at a crucial point in the game.
Now 4th and 10, 50 seconds left in this ball game, and a timeout will be called by Houston as boos rain from across McLean Stadium, and I think they're completely justified.
Yeah, that's deserved, especially with how the Cougars got their last touchdown. The Cougars, they draw the pass interference on the goal line. That's the exact same thing, if not more egregious. And I'm not sure if it's the officials just gearing them into that kind of let them play it out mentality being this late in the game, But the one thing is that you look when Baylor's on defense, they don't have that same mentality, right? They've called plenty of pass interferences against the Bears late in this ball game, and that was 2 penalties on that route against Latrell McCutcheon. Yeah, and we've seen them call both of those against the Bears. We've seen them call those early route holds, and we've seen them call those late ones. That early route hold is a hold in and of itself, but Latrell McCutcheon very much there early, taking the head off by the time the ball gets there.
Yeah, and you look to the beginning of that route, he's wrapping up Jaden Porter at the beginning of that route. So that's a defensive holding right there. And then, yeah, as you said, he's basically knocking him to the ground before that ball is getting there in the end zone. So now what could be the game right here, 4th down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Robertson under pressure, rolling out, throws incomplete. And there's a scrum down by the line of scrimmage. But what a disappointing way to see this game end. A missed call, blatantly missed call, that cost the Bears a bowl game.
Yeah, that just leaves a sick feeling in the mouth. Leaves a sick feeling in the mouth of McLean Stadium. You still hear the boo birds ringing out across the stadium. Yeah, and they're showing the officials on the screen now, and those boos coming right back out. I don't think those boos will stop until the game's over.
Yeah, and if you're Dave Aranda, who's known as an extremely mild-mannered guy, very stoic, not very emotional, I think this got to be a time to be uncharacteristic. You got to be angry. You got to show these guys that this is not acceptable.
But there's something to note here. The game is not necessarily over. The Bears still have all 3 timeouts. If you can force Houston into a 3-and-out, they'll have to punt. You can take one last shot.
43 seconds remaining. Cougars with the ball on their own 13-yard line. Wegman takes it down the right side, and he is met immediately.
There's that first timeout. I mean, the Bears have been stopping those Connor Wegman runs all half. And that's not going to work if you're going to try and get a first down for your Houston. That might be what Willie Fritz is trying to do, lull the Bears into a bit of rhythm and then get that quick first down.
And I think the key for the Cougs to get a first down, one, you got to go with Dean Connors to the outside. It's really worked here in the 4th quarter, not having Dean Connors go up the middle, but have him go to the right side. He's been able to find some green grass that way, and then you're going to find one of your 2 main you're pretty much 2 only targets, right? You're going to have Amari Thomas, or you're going to have Tanner Koziel.
Yeah, they did an excellent job of it last drive. Just take the yards you need. That's all Houston was doing, just marching just past the marker. Now you just got to do it one more time to clinch the win.
2nd down and 9 for the Cougar offense. Baylor's defense desperately looking for a 3-and-out, trying to keep this game alive. 38 seconds remaining. Another run for Connor Wigman. He's got blockers, and he is pushed down past the 20-yard line.
Connor Wigman on the keeper, tackled by Micah Gifford.
And Micah Gifford with the tackle, and Baylor uses their 2nd timeout.
That is a huge tackle from Micah Gifford. He doesn't get there when he does. Wegman's going to be able to lay out for a first down. Instead, probably the biggest 3rd and 1 we've seen today.
3rd and short, and you just can't help but feel disappointed if you're a Baylor supporter, Baylor coach, player, whoever, that's how this game has gone. Is well, and what you'll remember at the end is that call,
exactly.
that missed pass interference call against Latrell McCutcheon.
And there's so many other things that Baylor could have done in this game to not let it come down to that.
Absolutely.
And you can't forget that. But at the end of the day, that is what's going to be left on the mind, and you never want to see a game end like that.
Now Baylor, 8 penalties for 90 yards. Houston, 2 for 24. 3rd down and 1. Wegman running it to the outside, and he's got the room. Goes down at the 30-yard line, and that'll put a bow on this game. And all the energy has been taken out here at McLean Stadium. So the Bears will drop to 5-7 and miss a bowl game. This will be the final game for such a talented senior class. Guys like Sawyer Robertson, Jackie Marshall, Devin Bobby, Josh Cameron, Ashton Hawkins, Cole Wilson. I mean, the list goes on. And this is just not the way you wanted to end it.
No,
And there it is. Clock strikes 0 on the game, and it strikes 0 on the Bears season.
And you hear the boos start to ring out again. And I don't think it's for the Bears this time. I think it's for a certain other team headed off the field right now as they head into the tunnel. The fans wave goodbye to the Zebras one last time.
And obviously throughout this game, Baylor shot themselves in the foot time after time. We had just mentioned the discrepancy in penalties. And that's really what was the difference. But again, that final call, that no call at the end of the game is really what's going to be remembered about this game.
Yeah, that's kind of what hurts the most. It's kind of what's frustrating. You can argue that the Bears deserves to lose this game, and that argument is very much valid. They struggled in the red zone a lot right up until those last 2 scoring drives. But still, you don't want it to come down to that. And at the end of the day, it is still pretty clearly a missed call, and it's a tough pill to swallow, especially, like you mentioned, on senior day, on what could have helped you clinch a bowl game. And instead, that's how the season's going to end at McLean.
What's been an underwhelming and rather disappointing season for the Bears, capped off in what some might say agony. It's more disappointment as the Bears drop this one 31-24 to the Houston Cougars, who now improve to 6-0 on the road this season. The only FBS team to be undefeated on the road, and they get it done. They get it done, and they really sweated it out to the final second.
What a crazy record for the Cougars. 6-0 on the road, 3-3 at home. But they'll move on. They should get a pretty good bowl game as they wait for that selection day following championship weekend next week. The Bears will head home for the season and say goodbye to, like you mentioned, Jeffrey, a very talented class of seniors.
Yeah, and you look to the future, a lot of this passing game is going to be leaving, right? Josh Cameron, Ashton Hawkins, who's a sixth-year. Sawyer Robertson's gone. Kobe Prentice right now is listed as a senior. Cole Wilson's listed as a senior. And so it leaves a lot of questions, right? Dave Aranda said that coming into this game, this is a big recruiting battle because both Baylor and Houston can recruit in the same areas, both very Texas-heavy. And a lot of their decisions for some of the recruits come down to these two schools in the mix. And so now you wonder, how is the offseason going to shake up, right? Baylor still in search for a new athletic director after Mack Rhodes stepped down. Dave Aranda still under contract until 2029. You're losing a lot of your key pieces on offense. You're losing key pieces on defense. How much are they going to hit the transfer portal? Where are they going to go for high school recruiting? And who's going to be the ones to step up next season?
Yeah, it's a lot of questions for the offseason. It's something that this coaching staff won't get to right away, but it's something that, that's 2025 college football. You're already on that. You can maybe take a couple days off, and you've got to get right back on that horse. And yeah, it's going to be a very tough offseason. Those transition offseasons are always going to be tough, especially at the quarterback position. In a year, there was a lot of hype surrounding this Baylor team in the offseason. Heisman candidate Sawyer Robertson, the Letnikoff candidate Josh Cameron. At the end of the day, none of it really came to fruition, and that in itself is tough to swallow. And now you lose all of that, and there's not too many hype candidates behind that you're really looking forward to. So it's going to be a lot of recruiting. It's going to be a lot of transferring this offseason. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out for the Bears.
Yeah, this past offseason at quarterback, they had Auburn transfer Walker White, who has not seen the field this season, and for many Baylor fans, they expect him to receive the torch from Sawyer Robertson. Jaden Porter, as of right now, is poised to be one of the top weapons on the outside, but you look at the running back room for Baylor, particularly young, right? You have Bryson Washington, a redshirt sophomore, Dawson Pendergrass, who will be in his fourth season, medical redshirt this year. He'll come back as long as you keep him, right? Barring any guys leaving. And then you got Cade Knight, who just left the team with a scary injury. He's a true freshman. Michael Turner is a true freshman. Joseph Dodds had his work cut out for him today, a redshirt freshman. So a very young running back room that was very successful last year. Bryson Washington, the first freshman Baylor running back to eclipse 1,000 rushing yards. Struggled with a lot of injuries this year, and they're hoping that next year, as long as he's still in that green and gold, the hometown guy from Franklin, Texas, that he'll be back on track for another 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, and that is a huge boon for this team going into the next year. You hopefully should have that double-headed dragon in the backfield with Pendergrass and Washington. And that's pretty much your glimmer of hope. You got to look forward to a good rushing attack next year. And with everything that 2025 college football does come with, it can come with a lot of surprises. And you never really know what those off seasons are going to look like and how that team will shape up for the next year.
Yeah, and then for us with the Baylor Lariat Radio, again, another thank you to Jonathan Scheer. Thank you for being with us from Concordia University, Chicago, student broadcaster there. And I'd say for us here at the Baylor Lariat Radio throughout this semester, we've seen a lot of growth as well. Moved from where we normally have 3 people, we've now moved up to 7 different people calling games this semester. And we've reached across football, volleyball, and soccer, 14 different Baylor events this fall. We have broadcast, and there's a lot of young people ready to continue to keep this going for the future years, and I think there's a lot to be excited for here at the Baylor Lariat Radio, and just a lot of great people that I've had the pleasure of working with throughout the semester, and I look forward to baseball season when we get to the spring. So make sure to stay tuned for when we're back on the air. But again, that does it from us this semester. Does it from us here in the football season. The Bears on Senior Day fall just short of a bowl game finish, 5-7. They're losing this one 31-24 to the visiting Houston Cougars. But that'll do it from us here on the Baylor Lariat Radio. From all of us here, we wish you all a great rest of your day. You've been listening to Baylor Football on the Baylor Lariat Radio. We're done.